Alrighty, boys and gals. What is up? Alright, so today I wanted to start with a little video to help us get more familiar with classic World of Warcraft hardcore. So let's watch it together. Let me start that over. Alrighty, boys. Here comes the video. We're going to be watching 7 insane tips I wish I knew before playing hardcore WoW. Video is by Calamity, a great member of the hardcore WoW community. So, let's learn a little bit more about classic World of Warcraft hardcore. Let's do it.
This timer? Hello gamers. Today, we'll be covering 7 things I wish I knew before starting hardcore WoW. These are mostly niche or lesser known game mechanics, as well as some life lessons that usually won't set in until they get you killed. Hopefully, me teaching you them now will save you a few painful deaths later. I hope you enjoy. Number 1, mob leashing. This is a mechanic a lot of people are aware of and know it exists, but they aren't exactly sure how it works. So, what is mob leashing and how does it work? When you hit a mob in the open world, it chases you for a certain amount of time before the leash breaks and returns to its spawn location. This timer can roughly be formalized as 9 seconds, plus 1 second for every 10 levels the mob has. So a level 30 mob would leash for around 12 seconds. This isn't a perfect formula, and we're still trying to figure out the exact formula to this day, but it's a good rule of thumb. However, this formula gets complicated because if the mob takes any damage, or if it stands still for at least 1.5 seconds, the leash timer resets from 0. This means if you stop to heal, the mob's timer will reset because you stood still to heal, and it will continue chasing you. Only stop to heal if it will get you to an evade spot safely, or if your cast is faster than 1.5 seconds. Additionally, a bonus mechanic for hunters, warlocks, and anyone in a duo or trio. Every person on the threat table has their own leash timer queued after yours. This means as a hunter, if you hit a target and your pet hits a target, it will follow you for your leash timer and then follow your pet for the leash timer as well, essentially giving pet classes twice as long leash timers. This affects other players as well, so duos and trios can chain mobs for very long periods of time. These are the basics of leashing. Unfortunately, understanding it fully requires its own video, as it is very in-depth and requires a lot of if and or situations being explained.
Still a little bit confused.
I'm currently working on a video for this. If you're viewing this from the future and the video is out, I'll have an annotation on the top right-hand side of the screen.
Nice.
One thing I really wish I knew before I started playing hardcore was knowing what mobs are scary or can catch you off guard. There are a lot of mobs that roam the world and are extremely dangerous, and you may not know they're there until it's too late. There's also mobs that have dangerous abilities you may not be ready for. Unit Scan is an add-on where you can import a list of mobs, and it will alert you very loudly if one is nearby. By itself, not so useful, as you would need to know what mobs to worry about ahead of time, and then add them to your list. However, I got you. I've curated a list of all the notable mobs in Azeroth and have them listed in a file in the description down below. After you import my file, if you hear an alert, be on your toes. It means a dangerous mob is nearby. To install it, simply download Unit Scan and save my file somewhere you won't forget it. Head over to your classic era directory, then the WTF folder, and then your saved variables for any accounts you're going to use this add-on on. Here, you can see the normal Unit Scan file. I've added stitches to it as an example. However, if we override it with my file, you get all of these dangerous mobs. Most of these are roaming elites or rares that are very high level for their area, or normal mobs with very dangerous abilities. I know this looks like a lot of mobs, but there are genuinely that many dangerous ones. I hope this helps. Number 3.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Parry hasting is what happens when you or an enemy parry an attack. Your next swing timer is sped up considerably. As a player, this is great because when you parry an attack, it's a DPS increase, especially for classes like Paladin and Warrior, who typically use slow weapons and benefit greatly from a flat speed increase. However, enemies benefit from this as well. Fighting something like an ogre with a two-handed mace, or a demon with a large two-handed sword, if they parry your attack, Their next
They're gonna
attack's
hit
gonna
you
hit
right
much
away.
faster and potentially catch you off guard. When fighting two-handed
I actually
mobs,
didn't know that.
always be aware that they may do damage quicker than you expect because of parry haste, and have your finger over your potion key.
That's such
In
a
this
great
clip,
way to
we see the
explain
demon
parry.
Shobek right after swinging, speeding up his next attack, and then Shobek gets parried again, essentially making him get autoed immediately afterwards, for a second time.
Oh.
Parry haste can be deadly. Bind interact to left click. This one is primarily an anti-griefing tip, but it does have uses in the base game as well, especially when in neutral cities. Having interact and attack both bound to right click can lead to some accidental situations where you attack something you don't mean to. Let's say, for example, you're a Horde main playing Alliance for once. You instinctively go to the Horde Flight Master in
shit, I
Booty
should do
Bay
that
and try
right
to get the
now.
flight path. Because you're Alliance, you would attack the Flight Master normally, unless interact is on left click. This also helps you not be griefed like
Are you
Savix
kidding me,
by
mate?
clicking on Horde players standing on quest givers.
Rough.
Number 5, split pulling. This goes a little hand in hand with mob leashing, and is one of the many reasons that the topic needs its own video, but this is too important to not include here. When you aggro a mob, it does a cry for help that aggroes nearby enemies and ties them to its leash timer. So, if you hit one, it resets the leash on all of them because they
Oh,
are tied
shit.
together. This can be circumvented by hitting all the mobs at once, not giving them an opportunity to be affected by the call for help. When you hit every mob at once, they will all be on a separate leash timer, allowing you to single out mobs and the rest will reset normally. Most classes have some way to split pull anything that damages multiple enemies at once. If your class doesn't have an AoE ability, there are quest rewards like explosive rockets and flash bundles that you can save to simulate a split pull. In the absolute worst case, you can use your own body to split pull as well. As long as you aggro the mobs before they do their call for help, you will still do a split pull. Here is a quick clip showing me split pulling princess versus not split pulling princess, just to clarify any confusion on the mechanic.
So the call for help puts everybody on the same timer. But if you just run up there and get them, then princess.
Number 6,
Okay.
Z-axis.
That makes sense.
This term refers to the third axis in a three-dimensional structure. As World of Warcraft is a three-dimensional game, it has a Z-axis. A quick TLDR is Y-axis is the vertical axis, X-axis is the horizontal axis, and Z-axis is where your depth is relative to the rest of the space in the game. Unfortunately, World of Warcraft checks its X-axis when dealing with melee range attacks, no other axis. This means if a monster is above you on the Z-axis, but is within 5 yards of you on the X-axis, it can still hit you. You must keep this in mind anytime you're in a structure, such as a ruined keep, a stairwell, or a tower, and plan ahead for the monster damaging you while it's above you. It's a little bullshit, but if you are aware of it, you can at least mitigate the damage and prepare for it. Number 7. It may not look like a cave, but it's a cave. This is more of a mindset tip. I was debating adding caves are deadly, be careful in caves as a tip, but it's such a well-known thing that caves are deadly in hardcore. It felt unfair to add it. So, if you didn't know caves were deadly, congrats, you got a bonus tip. The real tip is, a lot of places in the world are caves, even if they don't look like it. Think about your escape routes before entering a new area. If the area you're in isn't technically a cave, but when you stop to think about it, you only have 1 or 2 ways out, and it's through lots of mobs, you're still in a cave. I consider the Troll Ruins in Stranglethorn Vale a cave, because once you're in here, as you see on the screen, you basically have to fight your way out. The city in Desolace is also a cave, the pirates in Daenerys are a cave. There are so many mobs here, and it's very hard to run away without pulling more.
Sure.
There are a lot of places like this in the game. Just stay on your toes and be mindful of your escape
Dead
routes.
Mines is a cave.
So those are my 7 things I wish I knew. I hope at least one of them was helpful for you. If it was, consider blessing me with a click of the like button. It's the best metric I have that you guys want more of this kind of content. If you have questions or want to talk hardcore, I stream pretty regularly, and I'll have my Twitch down in the description down below. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next video.
Give the like.
Toodles.
Sweet. All right. Let's actually see if she's. Ooh, let's subscribe as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring you the sit-down interview I managed.
All right. Let me see. We're running a little slow. Yeah. Let's see if she's streaming. That was a great video, boys.
Hello, gamers. Today, we'll be covering
Definitely
7 things.
follow Calamity. Calamity on YouTube. All right. Dude, that's so sick. I love that. It's a good picture. Alrighty, boys. Well, let's get into the game. Honor. Let's find something to watch as well. I want to watch this later. All right, let's get into this. Oh, we were gonna put that on. So, interface options, interacts. There we go. What's up, Mag? Nice. What's going on, dude? Is that the Magnus I know? Alright, we need to go kill. See if they have another version of this. Get his ass, get his ass, get his ass. Okay. Uh-oh, our inventory is full. Can you go up here and sell this?
I need to get closer. Now still recharging.
Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle.
Prepare for battle. I can't believe I'm working for a demon.
Don't touch me! Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
Now let's go kill these freaking Curiosities. Dream Eater. Damn, this sounds scary.
Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle.
Prepare for battle.
Enter the heat of battle. Engage.
Ass. Level 8. Let's go. So there's nobody on in the guild. Usually guild chat's popping. Uh-oh. Got two of them at me.
That's cool.
All right, here we go.
It's too far away.
I think I got him. Now we're good.
Not still recharging. I can't pass that.
Need to go grab some arrows soon. Shit. They're respawning on me. Oh, there we go. Let's get out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh shit, we gotta go over here. Oh shit. Piece of shit. Damn, I gotta eat real quick. Oh shit. I gotta go over here. I think I can probably get away with killing this guy.
I can't pass that. That's fine. Not still recharging. I can't pass that yet.
Don't call for help. Don't call for help. Bitch. go. Oh fuck, there's two of them. Okay, it's fine. Please, please kill him. Please kill him. Please kill him. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Don't run into something, Brandon. Oh fuck. Don't run into that tiger. Eat. Holy shit, 9%. Dude, my heart's bumping. Fuck. I have to go back and loot him. Fuck. Okay, wait. We're good.
Inventory is full.
Get the fuck out of here.
I can't carry anymore.
I'm gonna get rid of. Alright, back over the Hearthglen or Dolnar. Dude, I can't believe I survived right there. Hopefully I get my pet now. That'll be some help. Oh, I didn't skin that thing back there. I should have. It's alright.
I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. I am honored. Go in peace.
Excuse me. Damn it. Choking on spit.
Go.
Greeting.
I didn't get this head
Dear
yet.
Madness. Good luck.
All right, let's go see the hunter trainer. I'm listening. Okay, nice. Concussive shot, fuck yeah. Raptor strike level 2, break 2, fuck yeah.
May the stars guide you.
Alright. What do we need to do now? We need to fell cone. The fuck is that? WTF is that, boys?
What brings you?
Nature's creatures. Okay. Where is this fell cone?
That spell isn't ready yet.
I guess let me read this again real quick. The Council of the Forest, the satyr is an enemy of night elf. As a night elf, you should know that better than to defile the forest of killing nature's creatures. You must redeem yourself in the eyes of the council if you wish to remain a friend of Teldrassil. Teach Foulhoof a lesson, and you shall be redeemed. Falcons are corrupted seeds that fall from the trees. They billow with green smoke. Okay. I need 3 of these things. Just one. Let me find some other music or something to do, listen to or watch.
make you feel
interesting.
confident and comfortable.
There we go.
So you can show up as the best version of yourself every single day. This is your one-stop shop for all your wardrobe essentials, like their t-shirts. Their t-shirts have a premium fit that's tight
All
on
right,
the
let's
shoulders
kill these
and
guys now.
biceps for that extra boost of confidence. And I'm telling you right now, their t-shirts are awesome. I love them in my shoulders and in my biceps, and in my places that I want to feel more confident, they allow me to feel more confident, if you know what I mean. From their t-shirts to their polos to their activewear, their denim, their button-downs, their hoodies, their joggers, their boxer
Find
briefs,
one, man.
and everything in between. They have everything you need. Time to upgrade your wardrobe today.
I
We have an
can't
exclusive
carry
deal for our
anymore.
listeners. We want you to get hooked up with some True Classic. For a limited time only, get 25% off with the code BEARS at trueclassic.com. I'm telling you when I say this, you are going to love these t-shirts. They are my go-to t-shirts, and they're built
Another
for a
right there.
man's body, like a man's body. The kind of man that sits on the sidelines and cheers for his kids, and their kids look at the other kids on the field and go, that's my dad with the jacked arms. That's
Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Can I
Kinda
ask you this about when, because like I like that show and things that you've done so much. Do you ever get, I always wonder, like, you know, when we see the final product and it works so well and you're like, oh, this, you know, it's fucking, like, it's hilarious, right? You're just enjoying it. I'm saying as a consumer. Is it common that you're on set and someone's just like either playing it wrong or like, I don't get this, and you have to go, no, like the character is doing it like this, and they're like, that doesn't make, like, does that happen with some of these?
Well, I wouldn't say it's common, but sometimes it,
It
sometimes
does.
you definitely get somebody who doesn't get the joke,
Yeah.
I mean, we had that on Mr. Show. There were some people who were really kind of good at what they did, but they didn't, and we cast them for a reason, I guess. But they didn't get the tone. And as you say, they don't know the finished product. You're sitting on a set, and you're doing it, 40 different times in different sizes and angles and stuff, and don't get exactly why it's funny, like the way we would laugh at it. They're
Sure.
not seeing that part of it.
And so, but they're professional enough to just do their job.
Yeah, they want the gig, and they auditioned, they were hired for a reason, and
Yeah.
I remember, I'm not gonna say who it was, but I worked with somebody on a project that I wrote and directed. I wasn't in it, for English television, and who would occasionally put the cadence, like the cadence was wrong on a line. This happened a couple times, and I had to work out this thing with the script supervisor where it was like a code where, because the number one thing you don't want to do is, and I hate it as an actor, is when the director comes over and gives you a line read. It's really kind of humiliating and condescending in a way.
Inventory is full.
And sometimes
can't
if I'm
carry
getting it
anymore.
wrong, I'll just say, how do you want me to say it? If I'm not
Right.
doing it the way you want, just tell me how you do it. I will do it that way. But it rarely gets to that point. But I had this one actor who couldn't, I'll tell you when we're done with this, who
Okay.
it was. But who just, so I had this thing worked out with a script supervisor where I'd go, hey, and I'd repeat it, the line, like, hey, did we get this line when blah blah says da da da, so I could say it. Then the script supervisor, then she'd say it back to me, and when I talked to the script supervisor
say
about
it?
this, like how to say it, this is what we're gonna do, and but it's I don't know why I brought this up. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Did the actress, like, or actor take offense or know
No.
what was that?
No.
But did they then do it well, or
No.
the way you?
No.
Still no.
No. You can only do so much.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, I give it a shot.
You're like, we tried.
It was, but there were also things like, have you talked before? Have you had a conversation where
Oh, yeah.
who would say, nobody says this? Nobody.
I had one of the worst experiences that I've had acting was I booked a commercial campaign that never aired. Okay.
Oh, dear.
But I was.
That's
20
how bad it was? That's how
Well,
bad you were.
Fucking, I don't know. It was.
Well,
with-
come on. It's
I'll-
time to face up to some truths.
There's,
Don.
it could be that it was me, but it was also with Jared from Subway before he.
Before or during?
Well, we were sharing videos, but mine I was like, this girl's 19, bro. No, but so we were doing this this huge campaign.
Now, wait, Tom, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Have you thought about, like, while we were doing this, was he trying to fuck 13-year-olds?
I've
Like,
thought of
while
that.
you were doing the, like, in the, did this shoot take place over a couple days?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so he was probably going home
he
and
probably was.
trying to fuck a 13-year-old.
He could have been.
I mean, he could have been.
We did share a pizza, and that was cool.
Did it taste like young cum?
It did.
All right,
It did.
that's enough.
It did.
That's enough of that. Stop it.
It did.
Stop it.
Did. He was
I don't know what that tastes like. What does it taste like?
you know, it kind of tastes kind of sweet. It's good for a reason.
Sweet in like the taste bud way, or sweet in like a aw?
Sweet in that you've never come harder. Like it is.
Farewell.
It's a special place to be, I think. Like,
All right, you're under arrest.
okay.
The commercial is under arrest. This podcast is under arrest. All right, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No. It was
I want to hear about you and Jared.
Jared, great guy. First of all, I don't know about these charts.
You ruined his life. You ruined his life, Tom.
He, you know, it's funny. Like you book it, and here's the campaign. Just so you know, actually, I think that you'll enjoy this. Jared could only promote healthy sandwiches because the whole reason he got the
Sure.
gig was he used to weigh like 500 pounds. And he's like, all I did was eat like like the turkey sub.
Right.
And so when he does commercials, he can only be like, hey, the turkey sub. And then they go, we need someone that can promote our unhealthy stuff,
Which is
and that's
almost all of their
yeah, and that's where
food.
you come in, Tom.
Right.
So the commercial campaign was that he's
Oh, look at that photo on the upper right. Whole
yeah.
new.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of that one.
Oh, you got rid of it. Okay, smart.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That's him with a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, you're gonna play his brother, and then when he's promoting the turkey sub, you can be like, oh, how about the chicken parmesan sub? You know, like so that we can promote healthy and
Sure, makes sense.
I'm like, great. So they're like, you're gonna be his brother Jerome. And I really did tell. I go. I think
This is
that's kind
too
of a
funny,
black
this
guy's name. This
story,
is what I
man.
told the marketing people. I was 25 years old, and they were like, "Really?" I go. I mean, yeah. I think it's kind of a black guy's name. There are white Jeromes, but I think most
There
people
must be.
There are, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I think most people think black guy.
I
So
didn't
they-
when you said it. I didn't.
They come back and they go, "We had a meeting with our staff, and they all agreed that Jerome is not a black name." And I go, "Okay." And they go, "So your new name is Jermaine." I was like, "That's so much blacker."
That's so funny.
Then we shoot we started shooting the commercials.
For real, Jermaine. They changed Jerome to Jermaine
Jermaine.
because they couldn't think of another
Jay,
like Jerry,
Jason, I don't know.
Jason,
yeah,
James, Jennifer,
anything, yeah,
Jamilian,
any
Jamaraquai, Jansen, P.
Jaquel,
Quinesimin.
yeah.
Yeah.
None
Okay.
of them
Go
worked.
ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
So we go, all right, you know, we're shooting these ads, and
My name is Jermaine Foterius. I'm Jerry's younger brother.
that's fucking unbelievable. Jesus Christ. So we're shooting these fucking things, and yeah, one day he has like a buddy that hangs all the time, and they're like, yeah, they're pissed. They think Jared's gaining weight. And they don't want him to, you know, he had to stay within a certain weight range, and he had put on a few pounds, I guess.
This is the friend talking, or the
friend.
the company? No.
The
okay.
friend, yeah, the friend's like, and then I was like, oh, you know, I'm new. It's like my first day shooting this thing. I'm like, yeah, you look great, man. And then he's like, thanks, man. You want to get a pizza? And I was like, sure. So we start eating pizza, and we're shooting the commercial. Oh, this goes back to you talking about how sometimes an actor's not doing what you want him to do. So, whatever. Jared's not in this thing. I'm shooting this thing with the director, and he's like, and action? And I'm like, you know, these subs? And he goes, no. Go like, you know, these subs are like, I go, oh, I go, so these subs, he's like, no. Be like, these subs are, and he starts doing that, and dude, we get
Fuck, I'm out of ammo.
20.
I need to get the fuck out of this cave. Like
I don't know
yesterday.
what's going on. I don't know what's happening. And he's like, hey, you know, you're not, it feels like, you know, you're not like really doing like what you were doing.
Shit.
You know what I mean? Like, you really got to like change it up. And I'm like, fuck, it's like our first shot. And we're going to do 10 commercials.
Wow.
So we've got to shoot a
whole
series of these.
campaign.
A whole
We
campaign.
gotta get the fuck out of here.
So,
And they cast you.
yeah,
you
dude,
did-
it
Oh,
was a
shit.
long process.
All right,
like,
good,
to
I made it.
get a campaign
Oh, those
like
things
that,
are the worst.
I mean,
doing-
it was like,
Even just VO is a excruciatingly long process. It's so surprising.
but the thing was on day like 3, grooving a little better. I finally do something where he's like, "That's who I booked. That's why we booked you, because what you're doing right now, this is fucking hilarious." And I'm like, "All right, man. Like, thanks." And then I go to talk to one of the producers, that is like, I think either from Subway or from the marketing company that's. And I go, "Hey, when we shoot the rest of these, do we have different directors? Are they all going to be with this fuckhead?" And they're like, "No, there'll be different directors." And I go, "Thank God." And I was such an amateur, I didn't realize that I was mic'd up.
Oh.
And everybody heard it, including the director.
Oh.
That was.
Oh.
And then at lunch, I got to talk to
Feel
him.
free to
Wait, tell me about the talking to. I want to hear about that.
He goes, "Hey, let me talk to you."
Because
for
you're
a sec."
internally, you're fighting like you're kind of nervous and this is weird, but you're also, your gut is telling you like, fuck these people.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
You know, like, I also think, I mean, I realized how I was very inexperienced when that
Yeah.
happened, right? But
There's
like,
potentially, so people know, a lot of money. Man, you book one of those things, that's a big paycheck.
not only was it's guaranteed money to shoot the 10, but then it was against residuals, meaning like as they start airing, then you'll make more.
Yeah,
and then
and then-
Subway signed me to this thing where they're like, you'll do appearances.
Yeah.
So I'm 25 years old,
Huge money you've never seen before.
and it was like,
Yeah.
I mean, life changing at the time.
Yeah.
Money. And I'm like, and this guy's like, I mean, you're talking about line readings. He's cutting me off in the middle of everything I'm
it's
saying.
really rude, not
And then
right.
he's like, how come you're not doing like what you were doing in the audition? And I'm like, what the fuck am I like? And I'm like, I don't have clarity on what he wants. I'm
Yeah,
like
that's
looking
also,
around.
I mean, not only is that shitty behavior, just, you know, outside of that setting, but that's bad directing, because he's not going to get the thing he wants from you, the thing he needs. That's just poor, stupid, you know, that's amateur too.
It was. Our last exchange,
Here we go.
it went pretty poorly. It was at this lunch thing. This was the last thing we had. This was the last personal conversation we had that wasn't on a set. He pulls me aside,
Hello.
and I can
Here's
tell
a
he's
bag.
and I'm putting together
My
that he
goods are of
heard.
the
or,
highest.
like,
Oh, you don't know
I
yet?
don't know exactly yet. no.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not
So
Oh,
he's
all
like,
right.
you know, he's like, how do you think it's going?
To browse.
And I'm like, fine. Yeah, whatever. That thing was fun, and I'm trying to be cool. He's like, yeah.
Assist you.
You know, when you get back to LA, maybe get in some acting classes. You know, I think that would help. I go, do you think it would help? And he goes, yeah. And I go, have you ever directed anything before? And he goes, I've been directing for like 20-something years. And I go, I couldn't tell.
Wow.
And then he was like, okay, so let's try to have like a nice, like, you know, well, like he changed it and was like,
He made the decision when he's having that
Yeah, yeah.
conversation. You're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Now and the crazy thing is, I didn't know. Like we ended up shooting a few of these, and they got them to a place they were happy with.
Browse.
The
Hello.
the CFO of marketing
free
of
to
Subway
browse.
resigned, not related to the commercial, like resigned from his job.
That's how bad you were.
That's how bad I was. And then a new guy came in and just killed all the campaigns they were doing because they had like multiple
Right.
things going. Killed them all. I didn't know. My agent didn't know. A friend of mine who like reads business news read that and was like, "Hey, there's a new marketing director at
I
Subway.
cannot put that there.
So does that mean your campaign is dead?" And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I called my agent. He's like, I've never heard of that." And then he calls. He's like, "Yeah, your friend's right. The campaign's dead."
So,
Yeah.
but you got guaranteed money, right?
I only no. I
No.
only got the amount. I ended up making like you know, a nice chunk of change for a little. But I didn't get the.
But man, you
the
were
sign.
seeing like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a millionaire.
I was
from
spending
this
money I
thing.
didn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It fucked me up. And then I followed that guy because I wanted to send something.
All right, let's
I
go
was hoping
brave
he was
that
dead
cave
by
now,
now.
boys.
I
The
wanted-
director.
Yeah, I wanted to send something like rude to the funeral service.
Jesus, how petty and vindictive.
yeah. Well, I was gonna send this because you know they have like they do photos of like somebody's image.
Yeah.
At a
They
memorial
put on
service.
an easel.
I want to have one made of all my specials, like all the and then just have my net worth at the bottom and just have it at the memorial service.
And do you? So you missed that opportunity, but do you?
He's still alive.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah, I can still do it.
So you can send it to his house,
Yeah, that's true.
or get your friend Brendan to get a billboard across the street with just plastered, and then a transcript of this conversation.
That'd be great. Yeah.
And then the same thing with your specials. and
Yeah,
your
that'd
net
be so
worth.
fun, yeah.
And your net worth can be on a digital clock that changes, that rises
like
the deficit.
That's a good
It
idea.
just keeps spinning.
Dude, that's such a good idea.
And attached to the digital clock is a fan. So every time the numbers move, it's like analog. So every time the numbers move, it makes a breeze. So he's actually thankful for the breeze because it's hot, right?
Dude.
But now it's like I don't know. I want to get rid of that. But every time Tom Segura makes more money, I'm cooled down and it's a pleasant experience. So what do I do?
And I feel like I finally understand how you guys wrote sketches. I came with a very linear idea, and then
There you
you
go.
threw a lot
Yes.
of like extra into it.
There you go.
Now it's a great bit.
What was the thing that we riffed when I was on your mother's house? We riffed some really funny thing. I can't remember what it
I
was.
remember. Hold on. It was.
It was like you had to go to a
I went to
urologist or something.
a surgeon for a procedure, and then you reduced my dick size.
Right.
And I was like, that had nothing to do. And you were like, I was down there though, but I was already down there.
Oh man,
And
that
then,
made me laugh.
yeah, that was really
That was
funny.
a fun riff.
And I'm like, I thought you were just doing like my hernia. And you're like, yeah, but we were there, so we just took care.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're gonna heal up. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Why would you do that to my dick?
Memories.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I love also this. It's really when I was here last.
Yeah.
You had just gotten in here.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bare, and I mean really bare bones. But
Yeah.
it's really come a long way.
Yeah,
I would
there's a-
expect more to have been finished in the long time.
It is. It takes everything. It takes.
Well, it doesn't have to. You're just choosing to, I don't know, hire lazy people, whatever. Not lazy, but not, we're working 3 hours
I
a day.
think the
and-
word is Texans.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, people move here for a reason.
I mean, it's so fucking slow, man.
it's slow.
You can call people and you go, hey, I want to buy a place. Can I buy an apartment?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, so you're saying like I would like to do business, and they're like, oh, sounds great. And then you go, great. So they're like, let me get back to you, and then that'll be like on a Wednesday. So Friday, you go, hey, do you have anything? And they go, oh, we made some calls and we'll just get back to you
That's
soon.
that's
And you're
Texas's
like,
motto
what
is
the fuck?
we don't have to care. We're Texas. We don't have to care.
I swear to God,
People are only here for the tax break.
It's so much slower than I'm used. That's the biggest adjustment. I mean, do you guys find that too? Like the slow,
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
so much fucking slower.
It's I have a house in upstate New York at a very rural, small town, surrounded by other small rural towns, and I love it. It's beautiful. I've been up there for about 16 years, and
Damn, really?
Yeah. I got it. I bought property and had a house built on it. Middle of nowhere. It's awesome. But if you need anything, and I mean any work done, anything, and I've had the heat go out, and the winters, can be very harsh up there, and people. What was it? I needed something done. Oh, I had a flying squirrel infestation in the walls of the bedroom, and had to have the ceiling pulled down and all kinds of crazy shit. It's awful. It was one of the nastiest things I've ever seen. And then redone, and then just put the wood back up. And I had to go through eventually three people, just people who were like, yeah, I'll do it. And people I knew from just being up there, and they do kind of handyman, carpentry, all kinds of jack of all trade type stuff up there. A guy who I paid for the wood, brought the wood, had it outside under like a little tarp, and it just stayed there. Just stayed
in there
until I called him like 5 times, like, Steven, what's going on, man? He's like, oh yeah, no, I'll get to you, yeah. Oh, well, this weekend too now, and I can't. I need. This is a huge hole in my ceiling, and I gotta put this. And he's like, yeah. And then I would get somebody else, and you ask around, and people. Now the internet's a lot more helpful now. You can go on the Facebook page of the town, and people will go, oh yeah, F that guy, just get this, somebody, they're crossing Pennsylvania, they'll come over and do it.
Hell yeah.
But still, anything, plowing, anything, they don't give a shit.
At least, in your case, that is this rural kind of out of the way
no,
place.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no excuse here, yeah.
Dude, okay.
Yeah.
We went, we had to make a decision, and we debated, and we were like, we were going to do this fence. It's kind of an elaborate fence, but it's a fence for the home, right? That is meaning that it has different materials, and it's more than just posts. Okay?
It's a gaudy
fence. It's a gaudy fence. It has pictures of my specials on it. It's pretty cool.
And your net worth.
Yeah, and the clock ticks
Great.
So I was like, definitely, let's show it off. And we pulled all right, let's do it. We hire this crew, guys played. It's May of last year. And as it's going on, I'm like, hey, I'm leaving town for 7 weeks. Do you think that this will be done when I get back? And he's like, pretty good chance. Which would be sometime in August, because I left in June.
Fuck.
We are entering March.
Fuck.
And it is not complete. And I go, I actually...
I gotta get out of here.
Where I would get
I gotta go.
I go, what the fuck is going on? And now I just wave when I see them.
Right.
How's it going, guys?
There's no conversation to be had.
And because I already heard the thing is, you also hear a lot of this. You go, you hear and then that's how
holy
an
shit
explanation starts. There's a big whelp, and then there's a team. There's and they didn't show when they were supposed to.
To be fair, though, your house sits on 7,000 acres.
Yeah,
so
but the
it's
fence,
not
that,
a small
man.
fence.
The fence is only 2,000 acres, though. It's not the whole property.
Yeah, that's so. Oh, I'm sorry. So you have a fence you have roughly a little under a third of your property fenced off, then
I don't want them to get too close. So I don't mind
see.
if people are on the
okay, they can do pheasant hunting
eat
and
their
things like
olives
that.
on the outside. I just don't
Right.
want them to get.
Do you have an olive tree?
I do. I keep
should.
it way out there because I think they're gross.
They're disgusting
because
yeah.
they're fresh.
But you like cold press extra virgin
shitty olives.
No, but the olive oil. You like olive oil.
I do like olive oil.
Yeah.
Is that weird? You think?
No, because you like subconsciously like the physical violence it takes to the olive to put the olive through to get its
That's
life
true.
force, its life juice,
The juice of the olive.
squeezed out of it.
Yeah, and I like to imagine that
Fuck.
act, that
Yeah,
violent
yeah.
act.
That's why you
Fuck.
like the olive oil.
Do you have a food that
Fuck.
you hate?
No.
I'm sure I do. Let me think. I don't like cranberry sauce. I really. Oh, and sweet potatoes, which is I'm from the South, and there's a lot of sweet potatoes
You
and
never
things.
I don't
that
like
hate.
cranberry.
I don't like cranberries.
I don't like cranberry sauce.
I don't like it anywhere near anything.
And when it's also on Thanksgiving, everyone's always like, "Here's the special treat," and I'm like, "It's not for me, though."
And most people don't like it, and that will not admit it. We
Yeah.
have an entire country
Of liars.
that are perpetuating this stupid bullshit myth.
That cranberry sauce is amazing.
Ugh, it's infuriating. They're trying to prop up the least pleasant berry.
I kind of feel this way about that. I feel like a raspberry is delicious, but raspberry sauce on a dessert, I'm like, you could put that off.
Oh,
Like,
I disagree. I'm
Really?
the opposite. I don't like raspberries.
so you do like raspberry
I
sauce?
do like raspberry sauce on
Interesting.
pancakes or waffles or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like raspberry sauce. I don't like just a
The berry
handful of
itself?
berries. Nah.
What about blueberries?
Yeah, they're all right.
Blackberries?
Eh.
Strawberries?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
do like a good strawberry.
Come on.
Thank you.
Is that?
Thank you for reaching inside, deep inside, and finding that. I'm a better person for it.
Man, that's what we do here. Is it-
Lives are being changed.
I mean, there's people right now
People's
who are
lives
like-
are being changed.
There will be a new There will be a news article next week about you and berries.
Okay.
I promise.
I keep forgetting the massive reach this thing has.
Oh, berries are coming. The berries are in the news.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
They're about to be. You're speaking in
10,000
future tense in the present, but when this thing goes
When
out.
this- Oh yeah.
Yes.
You listen to me. Berries are going to be in the news.
Okay.
Have you ever gotten sick up? Does upstate New York area where the house where you have the place, does that have like I picture berries? Is that berry country? Are there?
No, not
No?
really. No. There's a lot of farms there, but no real berries.
Is there any food that is like that you can get just in that farm area that is exceptionally good? You know, because they grow it there or something.
I mean, like turtle eyes. There's a lot of
Turtle
Yeah,
eyes?
we get turtle eyes.
have you seen that video of that turtle getting
That's
killed?
the greatest thing about living in the present day is that you can make up some bullshit thing, and then the next response is, "Have you seen that video?"
Of that guy, and everybody has the same response.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There
but
is
of
a
course.
video that went fucking crazy viral of a guy, and he has a turtle, and he's like
Eating its
bathing it.
eyes?
No, he's bathing it, right? And everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, like this guy's taking the turtle to the turtle spa today," and then he just fucking cracks its back, splits it open, chops it, and then like makes a dish, and you're just everybody's like, what the fuck? Because turtles are adorable, and I don't think we've ever seen. If it's a chicken, you go, yeah, people do this. to
Right.
chickens. But this turtle thing, and it also starts. It's a slow build. It's a slow.
Is it like in his bathtub or
It's
something?
like no. It's
Oh, there it is.
That's definitely not it. It's. I think it was on Twitter, and it was.
Oh, I
It
don't wanna
looked
see
like
that
one of
stuff.
these. No, it looked like one of these. You know how like Men with Pot is a thing where it's like a guy is out in
I
nature.
don't. Tom,
Okay,
I don't know.
This is
Men
like
with
a
pot.
Men with Pot is like a huge account where a guy is out. Like there's a stream, right? And then he has a knife, and he goes and he cuts garlic, and then he starts a fire, and it's like it's very
Oh,
stylistic.
pot for cooking, not weed.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and it's very stylistically done, and it draws you in. You watch it and you go, "I'm gonna do that," and of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
you don't fucking do it. And this guy is doing kind of a similar thing where it's like turtle, and he's like throws water, and the turtle is just like chilling like
Thanks.
cute.
Thank you, sir.
And then you just see him
Oh,
peel the
God.
shell off, and you're like,
And it's alive,
yeah. I mean,
or he has just killed it. Or
maybe
something.
he's just killed it. There's never a harder transition in emotion that I've felt
Great.
than seeing this turtle that I don't know. Turtles are one of those animals that everybody I think thinks is adorable. Like you see a turtle and you're like, that's a cute animal, and the swing to him being like, this
Yeah.
is dinner. You're like,
Yep.
oh fuck. Yeah. Yes, and if you're wondering, yes,
It's delicious.
it is. Yeah.
That reminds me, when I just moved to LA, and I'd been there for about a year, I'd say, and I moved from Boston. I'd never really spent any time, right into Hollywood, baptism by fire type thing, and then some friends that I'd made. We had done some project, me and friend Rob Cohen, and we finished, and some other friends of his finished, and we were like, we're gonna go to Cabo San Lucas and just spend like 4 or 5 days there. And I'd never been on a luxury thing. I never had any money, and I was like, this is gonna be great. And I think there were 5 of us, and we booked a deep sea fishing
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
marlin or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we're like 5 kind of pasty white guys from Hollywood writers, comedy writers, and we were saying to the boat when they went out, it was father son, and then the assistant they had, but it was. Hey, if we catch something, we want to.
Hope everybody's having a good night tonight, guys.
We don't want to. We just want to catch it.
I'm having
take a
fun
picture,
playing
and let's
this,
put it
man.
back in and
Like
all
I'm
that stuff.
thinking
And
about
okay,
getting
okay.
back to that place that I died and doing it
just
again.
nodding. Yeah, you understand, right? Yes. See. Yes. Okay. And we go out there. And we're out there for hours, and it's big fucking rig. Those massive fishing poles that are in those holders, and it took all of us like
and isn't it
20 minutes.
So exhausting?
It's really tiring.
I've done it a few times. I couldn't believe it either.
Rowing, pulling something that
your arms are burning, and you're like,
and you're out in the sun, and you're drunk, and and you're just like, and it was great. And we all literally we would switch, somebody get in the seat and do 20 minutes, and then finally got in this big, beautiful marlin, and we get it up, get in the thing, and immediately, as soon as it's coming, they run down, push us out of the way, like physically push us, bring it in, and start beating the shit out of it. Beating it with a club, a bloody club, and just beating it to death. We're like, hey, and just beating the fuck out of it. Because that's $300, $400 for them.
Sure.
And we're going like, hey, so if we do catch a fish, can you take $400 out of your pocket and throw it into the water,
Into the
please?
water, please?
And I remember just all of us like, oh no, just beat the fuck out of it to death, bloody, and we're standing
like
in its
eyes
blood,
popping out of its head. Yeah, and you're like, this is cool.
and so quickly, just running down, and it also became clear like they've done that. They've had this conversation and scenario 100 times where people are like, and we don't want to hurt the fish, please, sir. We want to put it back.
Oh,
yep,
of course.
okay,
Yeah.
of course, yep, got it.
We know. Yeah, my cousins, when I was my mom's from Peru, so I would go down there a lot. And, you just realize that certain things that are the norm here, they are just like, probably now, I guess maybe vegetarian is probably more common. But when I was a kid, if you were like, I don't eat meat or pork, I'd be like, what? Huh?
Well, you're not going to eat that.
Yeah, and
there's only so much ceviche.
They took us to a slaughterhouse one time. But
For dinner?
No,
Jesus.
not even to like...
Just for a punishment?
Just like, you want to see something? like that. And we put on like knee-high boots, I remember, because there's just blood and guts
How
everywhere.
old are you?
I was probably 13, and we're just like standing there, and you just see an animal just get disemboweled. And
Why the fuck would this is your parents?
No, just like cousins,
Oh, cousins, sure.
Cousins.
Well,
are
they're
different.
probably having fun with the Americans too.
Probably, yeah. They did a number of things that were, cancelable.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, Peru has been canceled.
well, that's in rough shape. But then we literally leave there, and they're like, "You want to get the hamburger?" And you're like, "Oh, okay." And like, that was just like, they didn't get swayed by the things that would, I think, affect.
The thing, have you ever driven, LA to San Francisco, and you go through, what is it, Harrisford? Or what is it, the huge cattle ranch that's on the
on the 5.
Yeah,
you can smell it before you see it.
That's the thing that is off-putting. It's less about the slaughterhouse stuff, because they have that big restaurant there. It's massive, and there's nothing else around. If you've ever been, there's nothing from, miles and miles and miles. But this huge cattle ranch, and people are like, oh, it's fresh hamburgers. It fucking stinks of shit. Like I'm not stopping here. It could be the greatest, tastiest steak, but it stinks of death and shit.
So strong.
It's so strong.
It stinks before you see anything. So like you're just driving, and you're always
it's like Iowa.
What's going on?
Did you fart? And then
Welcome
basically
to
a
my
few minutes
stream.
later, you're like, Iowa has a very strong stench.
The entire state.
Yeah.
You as you enter Iowa and
Now,
you don't
this is-
see anything around.
You
you're
seem like a big Cedar Rapids guy. Am I wrong?
What brings you here?
I mean, it's my number one place of all
That's what I
time.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
just questing?
own a large chunk of it.
Yeah, me
and
too.
Bitcoin. Thank you.
Bitcoin. Yeah.
I just died,
think
so
Cedar
I'm
Rapids.
made another
Believe.
character.
I'm not sure, but I think I'm in Cedar Rapids.
They have the turtle video.
Oh, and in Cedar Rapids. It's the home of this turtle video.
This is
Or if I'm not in Cedar, I am
but
in
this is how
Iowa.
it starts.
No,
See?
I don't want to see
no,
it.
No, no,
I
no,
don't
but
want to see
don't
it.
show
You
them
too?
that. I'm saying,
don't
this
wanna
is how
see
it
it.
starts, though.
Well, maybe
Just show
if
them
we
like how it
start
starts.
over
It
again at the
starts-
same
Do
time,
that
we can
shit where
do
you're
it.
like, this is how it
That'd be
starts.
No,
fun.
no. See how he's doing. Okay, stop. But that's how it starts, right? You're like, they're like, oh, it's a turtle. And
He's
you're like,
giving it a scrub.
you're like, oh, he just. That's so cute. He takes care of his turtle, and this just ends
Sounds
in
good.
massacre.
What level are you
Do
now?
you think he was like, hey, videotape this shit? This is gonna be great.
No, when you see the guy, you totally get that it's like those guys on. It's not even like I don't want to say those guys on the boat who are like, this is money. This is like he's like this is what I eat all the time.
Yeah, I mean, look, logically,
it's an Asian guy, and I think
Oh,
it's
that's it.
It
Tom.
changes
I
everything.
cannot be
They
a
are-
part
yeah,
of this.
this
I'm not
is-
going to be. Look, why do we have to
we
go there?
eat different food. Okay, Bobby
Turtle
Lee's
soup.
been here. Yeah, turtle soup.
Shark fin soup.
It's. Have you had shark fin soup?
I haven't.
How may I help?
I heard
It's
from.
supposed to be great, right?
Well, here's the thing. It's very exclusive.
Yeah.
But I've heard that unless you have a taste for it, most people would be like,
I don't think I would like it.
I don't think I would like it either. I like seafood, but I don't think I would
Yeah.
like shark fin soup.
No, there's some seafood I don't like.
It's supposed to be
conch.
like a great honor if somebody serves you shark fin soup, you know?
Maybe it's just a really maybe one of the longest practical.
You're
jokes
level
that's
3?
been played on humanity.
Do you want to start over
Going
now
back
in
hundreds
duo,
and
or do you want
hundreds
to
of
wait
years.
until we die?
1,000 years. Give that asshole shark fin soup. Tell him it's good.
Tell
Tell him
him
it's an
it's-
honor. Tell him it's an honor.
Tell them it's $1,000.
Hey, can I go to the bathroom?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna take a piss real quick.
Piss break. You peed. I was saying that when I was in New York, I did Brooklyn, and I actually had like it was like a dream come true to me. I had DJ Premier from Gangstar DJ the show.
Wow.
And broke-
Wait, DJ, you were. How does that work?
So he does he's basically the first act.
Okay.
So it's like people get seated and there's house music playing, and then I would go either voice of God or even on some of the shows I came out. And so, which is like weird, right? Like you're
Maybe when you die,
see
that
walk,
sounds
and I
good.
go, I don't normally do this.
Let's say at
And I
level
just do
3,
the
you're already
introduction, and then
like
he
a
would
few
do
minutes
set, he'd do
in,
like
so.
a 20, 30-minute set.
Oh,
But he would do like
Seems like you
involve
gotta
the
learn
audience,
something
do
every time,
sing-along
too.
Stuff.
That's great.
One of my favorite things he would do is he would take a very like popular song in hip hop and then strip it down and then break it all the way down to the song that they sampled. So it would be like some 70s.
Oh,
you
but
know,
he would go in
like and then
piece
put
by
it
piece.
and then put
Yeah.
it back together.
Oh,
so
very
just
cool.
cool stuff like that.
What's
And
his
then
name?
DJ Premier.
DJ Premier.
Yeah, so he did that on a couple of the shows, which was so fun to watch. And then when he was done, he would introduce the first comic and play them on, and it was just like a special thing we did for the New York.
That sounds really cool.
That was fucking.
I'm gonna do on the second leg. I should say if you are interested in seeing my show and you go to officialdavidcross.com to get the dates, that's only the first leg. We're gonna do 3. The second leg will be announced. I think I don't know when this comes out, but
This
shortly.
comes out, 3/13. Yeah.
Oh, it'll be announced by then.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's 3 legs. So if there'll be the New York show, because you get people, you put your stuff up, and
Yeah.
you're like, hey, how come you're not doing whatever? And you're like, we're coming, we're
Dude,
coming.
do you know how fucking? So I did multiple legs. This tour that I've been on started in August of 21 that I'm still on right now.
Jesus.
And
So how do you you will put out a special? Yes,
I recorded it already.
but you're not gonna air it.
I'm gonna. I don't have. Well, I haven't announced it yet, but I know the release date now.
And then you'll stop touring with the
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's a long
Yeah, it wasn't.
Time.
It wasn't
on the road.
planned, but the funny thing was, so we announced the first because like the first leg, if it's August, I go, let's announce August through
Right.
December,
Right.
right? And it would say, I mean, we tried to be like always emphasize it. I go, this is the first leg.
You can do
And
it
then-
as many
and
times
then
as
you put
you
there
want.
more dates coming soon.
know.
And every single time people be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
How come you're not?" And you're like,
Always,
man.
always.
Then we just stopped. I just go, just
Yeah.
stop. I go, don't even put the thing on there anymore.
I mean, I can say this here, and I could repeat it.
Yeah.
This is just the first leg. There's going to be 2 others, and people will hear this and still go on there and see it and go, how come you're not playing?
Why aren't you in Phoenix?
Spokane.
Yeah.
And I'll be there.
And we called it World Tour,
Yeah.
and then people would go, I guess North America is the whole world. I go, it's the first leg is North America. Like the world stuff is coming every day. Can't call this a world tour if you only play North America.
I know. That's why I play Southern Sudan. That's why I've got a month in Southern Sudan.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sell well at all, and I lose money, but at least I can say World Tour.
By the way, what was the last special called?
I'm from the
She was sold. I was over there.
And I don't want to give it away, but this is I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite things I've always enjoyed about your stand-up is that you are, I call it as a high risk, high reward.
I can't carry anymore.
Where because the most fun part of doing stand-up, I think, is taking a risk, right?
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah.
If you develop like your, like I'm in the place now where I'm developing trying to come up with new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to a point where you're 15, 20, 30 minutes in of stuff, and if there's not risk involved somewhere, there's something internally you feel, right?
Yeah.
Where you go like, when someone's like, how's it going? You're like, good, right? Good. Like it's getting laughs.
Feel exactly the same way.
Yeah. But one of the things that I consider to be a risk that, because so many people are uncomfortable with it, so many comedians don't do it well, refuse to do it, is they will not take the risk of taking a long time to build a moment. Like any silence makes them uncomfortable. So what happens is they speak faster, they speak louder, and they'll add things that don't help the bit and they don't help the joke, and it's all because of the panic of where is this going? Absolutely. Why is there silence? And your first bit in that, I remember because I watched it the day it came out. Well, I was like, this is like it's such a and your audience knows like this is going somewhere, but there is this moment of like, where is this going? Why is this going there? And I don't want to give it away so that somebody can go and enjoy it, but it is a long build up.
I'm pretty proud of that opening.
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
And it's the most uncomfortable thing about the whole aspect of it is coming on and not saying hi, not doing the thing like, hey everybody, whatever, just not addressing in any way, and having to let the thing die down to silence, and then titters like, what's he doing? Why is he doing this? And then starting. And my biggest regret forever and ever will be that I didn't get to take that bit out on the road. Like I didn't get to do that in the places that might be a little bit more, less amenable to my
and more
stuff.
uncomfortable.
And more uncomfortable.
Because those moments are incrable in real in a live room.
All right, some more spiders, boys. More spiders, more spiders.
Then I'm not. I've failed in some degree.
I totally agree. I mean, getting the messages or hearing from the promoter. We had a walkout and they just sent this. I'm like, that feels so amazing inside.
I would on 2 tours ago, I could see the walkouts. I had almost every single show. I had people walking out. I had people, some quietly, and I could just see them. And some were very vocal. Some woman tried to throw beer at me in Tampa, and people going, fuck you, motherfucker. And and I had on that tour, I had a code with my tour manager because it got pretty hairy a couple times, and I had if I asked for a certain beer, then that meant get all my shit out of the green room, put it on this chair, have the exit door there. I'm not gonna do an encore. Keep it going like I might do an encore, and then I'm getting out of there. That just meant I'm running to the bus.
Because you could sense where this is going.
Yeah,
like
it was. And then the last tour I did for Oh Come On, I was in Pittsburgh, and it was a theater where, sometimes they just supply. It's a union thing or whatever. There's security there, whether you ask for it or not. There's a security, guy or 2 guys in the front of the stage. and I was, and also, I don't do any outside of the I'm from the future thing. I don't do any really hard shit up front.
Yeah.
I rarely do. I like ease into it, you know, so that by the time you're in the middle of it, you're like, you know, everybody. I like to think that even if you hate something that I'm saying, at least there was 20 minutes of benign shit that everybody can laugh at, universal stuff.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't even into the hard shit yet, and I whatever, I don't remember the exact bit, something about Trump or whatever the fuck it was, and I'm at least 20-25 minutes in, and this guy to the left, security guard to the downstage left is in front. He's got the windbreaker, black windbreaker with white block security lettering on the back, and he just goes, "This is fucking bullshit. I fucking quit." And he tears off his jacket and he goes down. He walks up the aisle to the theater doors, and the best thing about it visually is like it was in the center, right? The two doors, and it's backlit.
Yeah.
So you can, he opens the door, there's a flood of light, and then the doors slowly close, and you can hear him, like, he's like, "Motherfucker, this," you know, and then, but you also see him yelling and point, but you can't hear him very well because he's
Holy shit.
And everyone thought it was a bit, especially the where it came in. It was like, you couldn't script it any better. Like, if you were going to script a guy making a scene, and I've had plants before. I've done shows where there are plants in the audience, so everybody was waiting for the
like
the rest of the bit, waiting for him
to
to come back, and like, wow, that's a great commitment, because he stayed there for 20 minutes pretending he was security.
That's
it was nuts.
I wish you had that on video. I've thought this before, because sometimes when you're on stage, I've seen the same guys you're talking about, and a lot of times they're seated facing the audience, because what they're supposed to do
These guys were both standing facing the audience.
Yeah, facing the audience. And sometimes just like, you know, you're in your act and you're just kind of working through it. And as you kind of maybe are transitioning to something, you turn and you'll see the guy. Sometimes you see the guy laughing and you're like, oh, that's kind of, it just kind of, sometimes you see the guy sleeping, you know, sometimes you see the guy gesturing to somebody. But I've always, it's run through my mind, like, what if this guy really didn't enjoy this? And you had the greatest example of that. Like, the guy quit his job.
I quit.
Lovable boys. And I need one
to
more
my credit,
slip
I
sack.
was like, he's just upset, and I get it. He didn't sign up for this. Don't let him don't let him leave. Let him come back. And, you know.
He's terrible at his job. We can all agree on that.
He did not do well. Well, he was going to beat the shit out of me, so he was great at his job. He kicked himself out. He hoisted himself by his own petard.
He dragged himself out
to save me. It was pretty selfless.
Yeah, I bet that you've probably had some epic walkouts. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean, over the years too, man. And vocal, you know, fuck you, motherfucker. The woman in Tampa she came down the aisle. She went to throw her beer. It barely like clipped the stage. She had to throw her beer, and then people in the balcony were kind of yelling at her, and she literally walked. Can I do this?
Yeah, sure.
So she literally walked all the way up this long. It's a theater.
Yeah.
All the way up, both middle fingers, and doing circling like this. Fuck you, motherfuckers! Fuck you, fucking asshole! I didn't all this shit all the way up.
Wow.
So, to the point where it was entertaining.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
Like, you know, it completely fucked up the flow, as you might imagine.
And it's important to have passion. She's a passionate person,
Yeah,
you know.
she believed in,
Inventory is full.
pro-choice or
I'm
whatever it
not
was.
For whatever it was, yeah.
Probably
Cheers.
not pro-choice. No.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To all pro-choice women.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of stuff that I have cut, and I'll just sort of save it for next time. We were talking about this before we started recording.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were recording yet when we were talking about the kind of sourdough bread aspect of doing stand-up, where by the time, because everything spreads
I can't
when you're
carry
doing
anymore.
doing a tour, and you experience things on the road that become part of the set, and and I don't want to do, my sweet spot is like an hour and 15 with an encore too, if the audience wants it, and I have.
You'll come back after 1:15?
Yeah.
And do how long?
I mean, first of all, I mean, I know this is self-indulgent and not really, it's self-indulgent. But I mean, I'd happily be up there for 2 hours.
God.
I mean,
damn.
happily. I love it. I
Wow.
love it. And if the audience is loving it, and I'm, pretty good at sussing that out,
Yeah.
Um,
That's so long to me. I mean, what
it is
happens
it is long,
if
but
I-
I like it.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
if you're enjoying it, that's true. If
Yeah.
I tour, so what happens is when I start touring, where I build the hour, right?
Yeah.
And so when I first, I'm like, book me in a bigger place.
Mhm.
It's like at first, I'm hitting like 55,
Mhm.
and then, a couple months later, it's 65, and then as the tour progresses, and you drop some stuff that you're like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
done with that.
Yeah.
But then when I get to like 75, I always feel like, oh, I'll feel like I'm up here too long.
I
Like,
need to get
Yeah,
closer.
I totally get that, and it's a smart thing to be able to intuit and be on stage. You have to,
Yeah.
you can't, you have to separate like, oh, I want to do this, I'm having fun with, okay, this is about me now. Let's get the fuck off.
and then do you
know?
do the thing? Because I've heard other people comment. Are your encores your best? Like, do you save your best shit for the encore?
No.
Inventory
Okay.
is
No.
full.
My best shit is what you're,
Getting in the
and I
show.
have good stuff that's really fun. It's probably the stuff I do in an encore is probably more fun, and it's fun for me to do, but it also, something that people don't really consider. Understandably, they're not stand-ups, whatever, but sequencing is a really important part, and sometimes it takes a while to get that right. And when you have it sequenced, it's all about flow, and I don't want to interrupt the flow that I have. So these other bits are kind of unto themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're either they'll be in the next tour I do, or I'll do it in the encore, but it won't be in the special. But I have so many at this point because, again, and when you put a special out there, it's usually like 75 minutes tops.
Yeah, tops. Yeah, and they're always asking you now. I mean, most like streamers and stuff, they're like, "Can you cut that down?" They want it shorter and shorter.
And so 75 minutes is like the sweet spot, really. And then the rest of it becomes either drop it, as you said, you're and I have some stuff that I really like that was fun to do, but the flow isn't right. It feels like, it's like a speed bump. I'm talking about this thing too much, or this same style of joke, and so then I got that in my back pocket for later, or it becomes encore, but it's not gonna be in the special, so I can do it next tour and it'll flow better. But I have a couple bits that I really, really enjoy doing that will just be encore because, it's as I said, it fucks with the flow of the show.
everything. Yeah. Pull up the dates.
I'll be right back,
Go to official davidcross.com and
Again,
let's see.
this is just the first leg.
This is the entire tour, as David just said. There will be nothing added. Make
It'll-
that bigger, if you don't mind.
There'll be more Canadian dates. I'll go to Europe. More in America.
Oh yeah. I've done Terrytown. Yeah, I've done that place. You're going. Yeah, Omaha, Colorado.
Omaha's
Phoenix.
great.
It is.
I that was the last show on the last tour I did, and I remember.
And you're like surprised, being you're like, this
Yeah,
is,
and doing that thing that is I still do. That's so stupid that I haven't learned my lesson after 30 plus years of just going, looking at the audience, going, "Oh, this is gonna suck," and being wrong, or going, "This is gonna be great," and being wrong. And I remember looking out and was like, it was like 80 shows I did, and it was gonna be the last one. I'm like, oh man, I'm in Omaha. I'd never been there before.
Yeah.
I'm in this like civic theater thing, whatever it is. Like, and they were great.
Yeah.
Omaha was fucking
There's
awesome.
always surprises.
Loved it. Loved
Yeah,
it.
I
I'm
did
very
that.
excited to go back.
OKC, I had a great time.
Yeah, I did.
I had that on 2 tours ago when the same thing you're describing. I called my agent. I'm like, why am I going to Springfield, Missouri right now?
Yeah.
He was like, you don't remember us talking about it? I go, no, I don't want to be here. And it was like the best show of the tour. I was like, oh, you just never know.
I make notes. I do
You
that
do?
now. I'll make notes about all of it. The theater, the venue, the city, the show, and the hotel.
I do. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
I do call immediately, and I go, write this down. If I think a venue, if I go, I don't like this venue, don't put this on. Like, make sure this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made that mistake. I don't want to say where it is, but coming up, there's a venue where I found my notes. This is after the tour was booked, and I'm going back and forth with the booking agent, and then I found my notes about this one particular place, which is a city I love.
Inventory is full.
But I was like, not underlined, not this place. Don't go there. It's not good for comedy. There's some places that just aren't good for comedy.
I agree.
And I don't think bookers really get that. And I played a couple, to get ready for this and build material. I went and I did a bunch of like the way I used to do it, where I'd go out and have a band open. I'd go to music venues, standing room, and that's when I do like 2.5 hour shows. And that's where Shut Up You Fucking Baby came from. That tour where I'd have the band open up and then I go right out and then do. It was just a different thing. And I went out I kind of did that again. It was my wife's idea to go out and build material. Normally I would just do it in Brooklyn, get on my bike or walk to a place. And there were a couple venues that, and I worked with a booking agent who didn't do comedy, who did music because of that. Bands playing those kind of rooms. And there were a couple places like, I know you guys don't know this, but this is not good for comedy. It's good for a band, but it's not good for comedy.
1,000%. And I actually feel like, obviously, like music, I enjoy it. I like seeing music.
Good luck.
It is a different setup that works better for that. And there's people that, I don't know, some of the promoters are like, what? I'm like, dude, this is not.
And I can't expect them to know. And sometimes I'd say, like, it wasn't very good because of this. The room, like, oh, well.
They take personal offense, and you're like, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking.
Yeah, it's a thing, just, if you're a stand-up.
Yeah.
And you know it pretty quickly. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, right away.
This isn't good for stand-up.
So you said you might be starting a podcast, though, soon?
Yes, and Bert was so helpful and informative, and we talked before we started the podcast, and then 2 hours on the podcast, and then like another half hour in his driveway. He was giving me a lot of very helpful advice. And
oh, cool.
And I told him, and I'll say the same thing to you and your wife. I expect you guys to come on and fucking bring it.
Bring the
and teach this old boy.
Do you mean do our
tricks.
thing? Like you'll be like, hey, when we start, you do your thing and take over the show like that.
Yeah, I don't want to ask you any questions.
Yeah.
You do. I'll probably be on my phone.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You can't see it, you can't hear it, can't hear me on the phone, and you guys just do what you do.
Do what we do. And will we? You do it out of Brooklyn?
Yeah, it'll either be in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So at some point, I'll let you know, and I'll let everybody know. But
I would love to, man. I'm a huge fan of yours, dude.
All right.
So
you heard it here first.
Yeah, you go see Why Are Blacks So Loud? The tour with special guest Sean Patton. Tickets are available at.
That's in the. I don't want you to give away the parentheticals. You can't. That I don't reveal that till later.
I know
gave it
that's
away.
It's the last quarter of the hour. I've seen it. No, I really can't wait to see it. You really are so fun to watch on.
Well,
stage,
come to the
man.
Austin show. I'm doing. Are you going to be here, or are you going to be on tour?
I mean, I'm done touring, so I'm in and out of town for the next 2 months. But then I'm home. But it depends on what the date is. What's the date? Do you know?
I think it's on the earlier side. I think it's in
Pull it
April.
Up. If it's in the beginning of April, I can go.
I'm not sure when Austin is. I'll be at the Paramount.
Oh, it's a
Theater.
great spot.
Yeah, it's great. I shot a special there. Oh, there it is, March 29th.
Can you move it? Can you reschedule it? I'm gone.
I'll just have Sean do it, and then I'll come back.
Dude, that's perfect.
Yeah. Will you be here?
Actually, wait a minute. I am here.
Okay, all right.
I am here. Wait, don't move the date. Did you fucking just move the date?
I did move the date, but
I need to get closer.
It's now Kathy Griffin.
Dude, I am in town. I'm coming.
All right, cool. Absolutely.
Coming.
I'll let you and the whole family can come down.
The kids can come?
Yeah.
They're young.
How old?
They're 7 and 4 now. Is that too young?
I think that's my daughter's 6.
It's a good
and,
age.
she gave me some good notes.
Okay.
Give me. I have a couple things that you'll appreciate. Some things specific to. She basically the title came from her.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm the
Oh,
worst
that's
daddy in the
worst
world.
daddy in the world.
And she's told me that I'm the worst daddy in the world. and she's not just saying that. She had tests run.
Yeah.
She filled out all the forms. She sent in some blood work.
Then
so we know
specifically.
I'm in the running for the top 5.
That's worst dads
in the world.
That's pretty cool.
That includes a guy in the space station. I mean, it's everybody.
My son last night, I watched him hit my oldest hit his little brother, and I was like, "Go to your room," and he was so upset. And he walks in the room. He goes, "You're making my life miserable. So I'm gonna make your life miserable." And I go, "Don't you fucking threaten me with
How
that
old?
shit." He's 7. I go, "Don't say that
Wow.
shit." He goes, "I will make your life miserable." And I go, whoa. Chill the fuck
That's
out,
hilarious.
dude. First of all, I believe you, and don't do that shit, okay? Yeah,
I gotta tell you something. I don't want to give away too much from. Well, there's one thing my daughter said to me. We were having this. This isn't in this set, but we were having this epic standoff, and I, unlike my wife, I will not bend. I will not bend. And she was. This was when she was like 4.5, I want to say, and she had this habit. And we were trying to break her of it, where she would kind of snort. My wife thought it might be allergies and stuff. We took her to doctors, and it was like a psychological thing. And but it was going to fuck up her throat. And so the doctor said, gargle. And he said this also for her benefit too, like gargle with warm salt water, and that'll help, and that'll go away. And she didn't like doing that. And she had this little stepping stool.
Sure,
Sit,
up
sink.
to the sink, yeah.
And the first time we were, and my wife was in Toronto for the month. She was, we had come back. We were locked up there because of COVID. It's a whole other fucking crazy story. But I got out the second I could. We were up there for half a year, and it was awful. And I just went home with her when we could, the minute we fucking could. And New York had opened back up, but Toronto was locked down. And New York was great, open streets, shit, and it was beautiful. It was awesome. And so we're there by ourselves for the month, and I'm at home in Brooklyn. She's standing on the stool. You got to do it. I don't want to do it. You have to do it. It's all basically, I know that it's to break her of this bad habit she has. That's going to be bad for her, physically. And an hour and 50 minutes, 50, of just standing there where she's not going to do it. An hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours. So she finally does it, and then she's fine. Okay, blah, blah, we play. So we go upstate, just 2 of us, and we're going to go swimming. It's like country club place in Pennsylvania over the river. We're going to go swimming. She loves it, loves swimming. All right, we're going to go. You got to gargle with salt water. I don't want to, and I'm not exaggerating, 4 hours. Where we did not we took a break for lunch. We went over to the table, made some lunch, went over to the table, came back onto the stepping stool at the sink, me right next to her. 4 hours.
You have to
She's
gargle.
stubborn as fuck.
You need to gargle.
And she said everything to me, and then at one point she turns to me, she's like 4.5, and she goes, and she went through every emotion. She just stares at me. She goes, "I'm going to cut your throat." Staring at me, a 4.5-year-old, serious, serious. I'm going to cut your throat. 4.5 years old. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
But she eventually gargled it, and then she didn't have to. She did it a handful of times. She stopped snorting. It was all good.
You win.
I won. Yeah, but
yeah, they say wild shit, dude.
I'm going to looking me in the eyes.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm going to cut your throat.
Yeah, see, it's not just because I tell too, like my youngest, who's 4, he told me
Yeah, they cut your throat. Holy shit!
Cool.
It's like, how do you go to
And I
bed
don't
that
remember
night?
saying that to my mom or dad.
I don't
remember
either.
ever
Cut your
saying,
skin off?
I'm going to cut your skin off.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And wear you. I'm going to wear your
I'm gonna
skin
wear
suit,
you.
your daddy skin suit,
terrible dad.
and parade down the street with your blood and entrails.
Like, hey, man, chill the fuck out. Yeah.
I learned it from you.
Well, you know, kids are the worst. No, it's the Worst Daddy in the World tour. Sean Patton, who's hilarious, will be on tour with you.
The great Sean Patton.
Very funny guy. You get your tickets now. This is the first leg. There'll be more legs. A podcast is to come
Yes.
very soon from the world of David Crow. And,
You'll be on it.
I'm going to be
Christine
on
will
it,
be.
and I'm going to fucking bring the heat. Thanks for coming, man.
Absolutely, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
you.
Again, I really, this is a very enjoyable
Listen,
experience.
you're welcome here anytime.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. See you guys next time.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave. It's a bit of booze, amateur partology, dirty jokes, raunchy humor, no apologies. Here's what we call
2 bears, 1 cave.
Spell isn't ready.
Bum.
The target.
So, trans people are in the news this week after I received a package from Amazon with trans pride tape on it. What?
Well, it's kind of interesting. 'Cause I actually ordered a package from Amazon and I got straight pride tape, so it's very possible that Amazon is sizing up the people and their purchases, and then, you know, they've
You think
extensive...
they're implying something,
Well, they
Ryan?
saw that you're ordering cooking supplies, an apron for a man.
That was not what I was ordering. I was ordering Bibles and Bible supplies.
Well, you might have been ordering the Anderson Cooper Bible, because when they see what I was...
Alrighty. What do I want to watch? We could watch the rest of that.
Blast, remember that?
Oh, God.
So, Soda goes over. This was like 4 years ago. Me, Soda, Shroud. We were all playing. It was like McConnell too. Soda spent $150. Remember that?
Yeah, I bought that deluxe.
On the deluxe edition of this game. We all go to take a break to have dinner at that point because we had been like waiting in queue, and we just made our guild, and we asked Soda, "Oh, do you want to go play whenever you get done?" No, that was it. You were done.
I quit.
You did not even come back for the rest of the day.
What happened? Why'd you quit? The game is bad.
Oh. It was
okay. I'm not gonna, it was just a bad game, but I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. I wasn't gonna sugarcoat it because I could tell these guys were still playing it. They're still streaming it. I'm like, I don't even know what I said to y'all, but I definitely was like, guys, I think I'm gonna quit.
Well, no, I remember it was like you said, "Are you gonna come back after you're done eating?" And you're like, "Nah."
Like they kept asking questions about. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
It was a bad game. And I think Ashes, I heard something like the fucking, like a dev is a fucking clicker, which is ridiculous. But that all might just be fucking like air blown up the ass. I hope.
So if you play an MMO and you actually, it's like if you have your abilities keybound, right? That's like what
Well,
you're supposed
imagine
to do.
clicking your spells in League.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, ask you, like.
Imagine.
Okay.
That's honestly
Basically, he's not good at those kinds of games, but he made a game.
Yeah, that's basically what.
Now, again, that might just be complete bullshit, but I've heard that like twice now. And of course, you know, that's one person on probably a large fucking team. But also, I just haven't seen anything that redeems the game yet.
Okay.
I haven't. I haven't seen any, like, every other, it seems like it just has a bunch of shit that just sucks.
Like what?
The graphics, the spell animations, the lore, the whole idea behind it just seems like it sucks ass.
I don't know.
Maybe
I really hope.
Maybe I shouldn't say that so bluntly. Because
I really hope it's good.
Should.
I do. I hope it's good.
I hope it's good too. That's
yeah.
the thing. I do. I always hope it's good.
Yep.
Truly, I hope. And then you got what else?
Well, you were very excited about Arcade 2. Did any of y'all play Arcade?
Yeah, I'm pumped about Arcade too.
I thought it was ass.
Okay.
Because again, I've asked my neat Discord friends, and they said the best game MMO they have ever played was Arcade.
Wow.
And they said the best looking MMO they've ever played is BDO.
Okay.
And so those two games are going to be somewhat combined.
Oh wait, that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved BDO.
Yes, but like at the end of the day, like BDO is pretty fucking. You just farm all day like a freak.
Yeah, but
grind
it was
all day.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's such a good looking game.
And like the classes you could play, I don't know. I thought like the complexity of the classes were cool as hell.
So Arcade 2 is supposed to be that, and of course, you know, it's like pay to win, pay to win. Yeah, it's probably gonna have those.
Every game is going to be pay to win now.
Yeah.
And so here's my opinion on pay to win. I really feel like every game on earth is pay to win, but you just pay with your time and not your money.
Yeah, but there are people that want to be able to pay with their time because they don't have money.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I feel like there should be a fair balance where you could. Oh god, it's.
I think there should be a fair balance where, like, if you are playing a video game, it's balanced to where it doesn't have to do with how much money you spend.
That's also true.
Well, the thing is, here's why I think it's bad. Is because, like, everybody here played Lost Ark, right? Have you played Lost Ark at all?
But I watched a little bit of it.
Okay. Well, like, anyway, so one of the things that you had to do is you would do these 2 different, like, Chaos Dungeon runs, and you would do them every day on a bunch of different characters. And the entire game, if a game is pay to win, it is designed structurally around incentivizing you to want to pay to win because that's how they make money. So games are made worse in order to incentivize and make the pay to win features look more appealing. And that's what makes me worry about a lot of these new games. That's why I hate the pay to wins.
I also just. You go ahead.
Well, I will say, so one thing that, again, my neat Discord friends are, these guys are, they are the top 1% of these, like, players. Like, they are
the overlords.
They are very fucking good at these games, and everyone else is a fucking NPC. They are at that level, right? And they'll tell you, in BDO, for example, the game's not pay to win. You can pay to win, but no one good at the game does. Except for, like, one whale in fucking Korea who spent, like, $100 grand. But that guy's just a freak, right? And everyone else is really just a neat. You cannot beat the neats.
Yeah.
You just can't. And those are the people who win. And so, like, I don't know if it's going to be like that in Arcade.
Yeah.
Where, like, pay to win really does have a limit, and the best players have not spent a fucking cent.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just worried about these games where you have to, like, it's an MMO where you have to grind like 16 to 17 hours every single day. Quit your job. Don't go to school. Become just a fucking zombie on the internet. Because, like, nobody can do that. Like,
Well,
how do
they
you
can.
do that?
They're in so does Discord.
That's true.
And there is like, here's the thing, is that in the real world, they have Lamborghinis. These people deserve a world where they can be the king.
You know
and
what?
It's, yeah, I think it's fine.
Yep.
Now, I don't really
Say it
think
like that.
I don't think mindless grinding is, like, really good game design.
No, it's
because it's like it just sucks. But at the same time, I don't like the idea where somebody can just spend money to get an advantage. Like, for example, in Tower of Fantasy, if you looked at all of the people that were in the top like leaderboards, all of them, oh wow, 6-star character. I wonder how this happened.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this probably only cost this person $3,000.
That's actually a really good point you brought up. That's
Yeah.
true. 'Cause I spent a shit ton on Tower Fantasy. I was dog shit. And I was still a top player.
Really?
Of course you fucking did.
It wasn't, man. I was sponsored.
How much did
okay?
you spend? How much do you think?
I probably spent like, I probably spent like 5 figures. You know how it goes.
I'm gonna be real. I just 6-starred all my characters with only $2,000.
There you go.
Yeah, I got really lucky.
Only 2.
Yeah, only
God,
2,000. No, because I bet you spent the same amount and your character's probably as good as mine. Like, I got ridiculously fucking lucky.
Yeah, I believe.
I was so happy.
Yeah, that's crazy when you play.
Did you spend money?
No.
Why not? That's half of the content.
Dude, you know what's crazy? So some of my buddies were playing like the Tower Fantasy, and they were having so little fun that I was like, I literally gave them money. So that way it was.
And then they started having fun.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, and they started having fun, and then you know what happened? The fun died down. You know what I wanted to do?
Spend money
Spend
again.
more money. And you know what I said? Nope, quit the game.
Right.
So basically, you got them hooked and then you took it away.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole concept.
I don't like the way you're phrasing that. I was just trying to be a good friend.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh yeah, I spent. I will only do it for content. Like, I would never really go and do this on a game that I'm not like really playing on stream. But like, if I'm doing it on stream, I think it's so funny to like just do these roles for the characters. And the best part is like whenever you get really, really, really lucky, and then people in chat get mad about it.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing.
Yep.
And jealousy's a bitch.
Oh, it
at the end of the
is.
day, and everyone just gets fucking mad at you, is jealous. There's
Absolutely.
things to make themselves feel better.
Absolutely. And it is amazing to watch. Yep.
Speaking of amazing things to watch, I saw all my buddies went into Nikkei Gods of Victory because sponsorships went around.
Right.
So
Yeah, by the way,
Oh, yeah, I
what
played
the
that yesterday.
fuck you. Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys. What happened to mine?
Dude, first of all, I'll say this unironically. I actually like that game a lot.
What game are we talking about?
Nikkei Goddess
Goddess
of
Victory.
Victory.
You've definitely
the
seen ads of it. Yeah.
video game where like the girls are kneeling down and they're shooting a gun and their ass
And
jiggles?
then they
Yeah.
shoot and their panties vibrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much it's aim labs mixed with hentai, but it's a gotcha game. I actually enjoy it. It's very fun when you're on the toilet. It's good. Be careful with gotcha games, obviously, but seeing like S fans' reaction to like Volume's ass and like NMP and Melena's to like other characters' titties, bro, it is so funny because I feel like they're entering my world of just like depravity and degeneracy.
I open the Kari stream every now and then, and it is truly a sight to behold.
Yep.
To see this man have a blank face, unaffected entirely.
Yep.
And basically soft porn just on his screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's the game, and he's just because it's normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
That blows my fucking mind.
The same thing with VR chat streams, man.
True, actually. Yeah.
Just another day at work.
Yeah, it's another day.
VR chat is so fucking stupid.
Thank you.
So fucking stupid. I'll play VR chat. I'll go to like some lobbies here and there, but God, I cannot imagine playing a bunch. I'm getting back into VR chat.
I can't, man, because when I imagine the people who play VR chat and it's real to them, it freaks me out. And I can't stand it anymore, man. I took a firm stance. I cannot play that game.
I think it's just going to get more and more real. I think you're going to lose more and more people. They're going to get lost in the sauce.
Any of you guys going to the Streamer Awards just out of?
I I don't know. It will require me to leave the house.
I'm going.
You're
going? Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I've been invited. I've had so many people tell me that I should go, but I don't want to make that.
I feel like if I go to get an award for the biggest MMO streamer or best MMO streamer, I shouldn't get it. Like the MMO streamer award should not go to somebody who left their house to get it.
Fair.
That's true.
Is that what happened last year?
Yeah.
I'll be real. Listen, I feel like they should have more categories. I feel like there should be an anime streamer and a gacha streamer.
Really?
Streamer. Who would be like the four anime streamers? Because I can't really think of people that are like, oh, that's an anime streamer.
Oh, Sea Dog VA, Joey the Anime Man.
Well, they're more like YouTubers though, right? Because their audience is like from YouTube and just like wanting more.
Yeah, I mean, Noxtaku, myself, Lakari. There's a lot.
I mean, sure, they could definitely add it, but at the end of the day, I do feel like it's just adding more filler.
That's all streams are. It's just stalling.
It's true. You're right.
I mean, like like Sea Dog, like he is like an anime creator, I guess, but you could also put him for like IRL streamer because he's doing all that stuff.
100%.
So, yeah.
Listen, I'm just trying to get away to where I can get something.
Yeah, I can. As soon as you listen to yourself, I can.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm just trying to get something, bro. I want to get a cool peepo, golden peepo, take it back to my house. That'd be cool as hell.
Yeah, mine's still sitting on my table, like, because I got it. It got sent to the office, and I took it, and I walked inside, and I just put it on, like, a table, and it's still been there since last year. I don't know what to do with it. Like, people always send me stuff, and I don't ever know what to do with it. Like, my house is too small. I don't have enough room for all the shit that people send me.
God.
Yeah. Is it going to be a big apartment?
Sorry, I was just reading the fucking... like a TV, and I'm just having a good time reading the list of different stuff y'all have, and I see on there, COVID was made in a lab.
Yeah. That's right.
Sorry. Anyways, what did you ask?
Our video is gonna get flagged now.
What did you ask me? Sorry.
Is the apartment going to be a big apartment?
It's a penthouse.
Holy shit.
So for an apartment, yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice.
Oh my god.
It's gonna have fiber. First thing I always check when I move a new place, does it have the potential internet?
Right.
It's gonna be, I mean, it's fucking downtown Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I'm worried about, I don't know if you've seen Train when he does his streams, he has like some with fucking laser pointers that just like shoots it in to pin locate where the fuck you are.
Yeah.
So I need to get some serious fucking curtains just so that can't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things I gotta do. I'm fucking excited to move, but I'm also,
Really?
well, it's one of those things, you know. It's like you're going on vacation, right? I'm excited to go on vacation, but I'm not excited to travel to the vacation.
That makes sense,
No one likes getting on a fucking plane. No one likes moving. The process is gonna be miserable. I'm gonna hate it, but
You know what's gonna be fun though? Decorating the inside of your house.
no. I'm having my sister decorate.
Well, you're not doing the interior design? I thought you loved that.
Fuck, dude, I lost $100 grand to interior design before.
I thought you liked it.
No. I had well, okay. I do and I don't. I enjoy like, hey, I want this kind of like style. Like I like modern rustic. So I like natural, neutral colors, right? So maybe a plant here and there. I like wood. That's the kind of thing I like going for. But it's like at the same time, there's so much bullshit you have to go through in order to get stuff. I have gone into places before, and because I dress like I dress better now. But I went in there with sweatpants, and I had one old lady, because I'm not in my 50s, basically tell me to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to be here. Whatever you're from, we don't want to buy drugs here. Get out.
Like, so it's just absurd. And obviously, I'm not gonna like buy anything fucking Woochie Gucci, because honestly, Woochie Gucci, like over the top expensive stuff sucks, especially with like couches and whatnot a lot of the time. But no, going out and getting it is miserable. I had one guy when I bought a couch, he's like, soda poppin'? I'm like, yeah. Well, what's your address? I need to write it down for this stuff. I'm like,
I'm good, bro.
yeah. I was like, bro, it's like I'm good. So like that's just passive shit like that I don't enjoy. I also don't like being out in general.
I know.
Yeah.
So my sister's gonna do the interior design for me.
Yeah. What do you think of the interior design of our set?
I think this is sick. I think
nice.
this is cozy and it's fucking nice. This reminds me of like, and Nick still doesn't understand what I said by it. When we were like house shopping a while ago, we were going through different houses.
Nick still doesn't
there were
understand
like
what I said
doors
by
that
it.
when I opened them, I could tell the doorknob was like rusted and shitty, but that made me comfortable.
Really?
I liked that, like shitty things. This feels like a shitty basement.
Well, I got a new AC unit, and I had it installed and everything. And every time I go around the house and I look at it, I feel like it's not supposed to be there. Because it's really nice and it always works and everything. Yeah, it's like this is not what's supposed to be here.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I can't even imagine that. That's actually nuts.
Have you ever done interior design?
No. Oh yeah, Animal Crossing.
Okay.
I love that game, bro.
But like actual interior design of a place.
Nope. I barely buy shit. With the shit that I do buy, I throw in a big ass pile. That's all I do.
I have. It's not a big deal. Like we used to, basically what we would do is we would just wait until they had like one of those, like the furniture pickups where everybody puts out their furniture. And then we would just drive around and then just like, that's where I got my sofa, the chair that's next to my desk, the table, the other chair next to the other desk, the futon, a lot of the blanket. Actually, the blankets are Mitch's blankets. Long story, but yeah, I mean, it's like you go out and I liked it because it was like you were capturing these things and you're getting them for free.
You're looting. Are you fast?
Have you ever done interior design?
No, I just like buy furniture and stick it in there. I'm like, I need this, and I just put it in there.
Yes.
I don't like plan shit out.
My struggle with it is like I look at something, I'm like, that looks really awesome. I love the way this looks. But then I put it in the entire room and I'm like, fuck. Everything is trying so hard to stand out.
Yeah.
And it's not working together. Maybe I care.
Once.
Maybe I care too much.
Oh, eventually I will buy a new house or something like that. I've thought about getting a bigger house or something. And if I ever did that, it would just be completely empty. There'd be like a phone charger and then like a TV on the other side of the room, and that would be it.
Have you ever been in an empty house and like lived in it before?
Not really living in it, but like kind of halfway, yeah.
It's a surreal thing, like being like, fuck, there's nowhere to sit down.
It's nice. It's amazing because it's like there's nothing that's ever in the way. There's nothing that's ever annoying you. It's like you can, like, if you want to walk over there, you walk over there. There's nothing in your way. If you want to be like, okay, guys, let's have everybody come over and we'll play DDR, you can just do that. You don't have to like resituate furniture. It doesn't matter.
But one thing is like, okay, so like your video with all the cups, when you don't have furniture, you significantly reduce the amount of table space that you have.
Well, you just you put it on the floor like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's like one layer.
Well, yeah, but it's like against the wall, so it's like that you're minimizing the space that it takes up, and also like throwing away a bunch of garbage is super easy. You just go with a garbage bag and put it all in there. It's done in like 2
okay,
minutes.
you need to do what I do. Okay, so what I do is I do the same thing where like I'll have cups and like food trash in my room, and I don't like taking it right away. So I have this box under my desk. I put it all in the box, and then when the box is full, I dump the box.
Yeah.
Then I never have to clean, and it's like I don't have to put it out at the same time.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I have like a mailbox that was like stolen from the post office on accident, like one of those mail carrier boxes. I just fill it up with all my trash, and then when it's full, I just go dump it out.
Mm.
And then like, there's not cups lying around, but I don't have to also like clean up after myself 10 times a day.
My thing is that to the extent that, so usually I will put cups behind my monitor, but then whenever I run out of space behind my monitor, then I know that I have enough of a garbage bag full of garbage that I can take it out. Yeah, it starts getting in the way and then because I can't see the screen.
Yeah, but then you have to like put it in the bag. That's why you got to get a drink box to put all your cups in a box.
But then what if you pour out the drink box and some of the drinks get spilled on the box?
Then you have to get a new box.
See, that's like
or,
then
like
that-
okay, the box that I have, it's a plastic box.
Now you could just
Yeah.
have a big trash can in your room.
I do have a trash can. It's always full because I
Is it
never
a
empty
big
it.
one?
No.
Okay, get a big one.
Yeah.
So y'all, I can tell that y'all don't live with cats, cause like, dude, living with cats, 3 cats, when like you have a whole bunch of garbage in your room, it just doesn't work.
I have a cat.
Well, you have Bunky. That's right.
Yeah, well, Bunky's not technically my cat, but Bunky's in my room like 90% of the time.
I realize that. Maybe you haven't lived with a dickhead cat.
I have lived with a cat worse than yours, I promise.
Okay, what did he do?
He had fucking diabetes, and he would constantly piss everywhere. He had an extremely rare form of diabetes. When the vet saw him, she was excited.
Oh shit, you told me about that.
Finn was fucked. He pissed on everything uncontrollably.
He had
literally uncontrollably.
He had diabetes. What a dickhead.
I mean, he wasn't a dickhead, but it's like he fucking. You talk about mess made from a cat. No litter box could handle him.
Yeah.
So much so that he pissed on everything.
Okay, you know what? I take it back. Your cat's way worse than what I was about to say.
Yeah, he's fucked up.
Well, let me just tell you what my cat Fishy does. So
Okay,
he's a Maine Coon, so he doesn't drink with like his mouth. He turns his paw and he webs it out and he scoops it into his mouth. Okay, both my Maine Coons, no, it's really cute. Both my Maine Coons do it. What is, he's very grabby. Like, so he grabs everything. So he jumps on my desk, and if he sees any container, or the best thing is a fucking PS5. If he sees anything standing upright, he's like, you know what? This shit doesn't fly with me. Puts his paw up, spikes that shit down. I'm like, all right, dude, what do you want me to do? So now, in my room, I can't have anything that's upright. I have to have everything on its
To be
side.
fair, you should not fuck having your PS5s upright. Fuck that.
It looks.
Wait, actually, PS5s have to be. I'm
Yeah,
thinking-
they have.
Yeah, what?
There's a Xbox 360 that you could do either one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Because now it looks like Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! The PS5, I think it looks cool as hell.
I've used it once to play Demon Souls. I have never turned it on
That's
again.
why I bought mine too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same. I forgot we played Demon Souls. Forgot about that game.
Yeah.
Fuck, that game was played, beaten, and forgotten so fast.
Yeah, I mean, Emmy
that's
beat Dark Souls. How about that?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
did.
congrats.
Dude, I loved it. I loved it the entire way through. Well, I didn't love it when I was like on death 50 on Manus.
Yeah.
That was like the boss I
Well,
struggled with the
Okay,
most.
what was your hardest boss?
Manus.
Really?
Manus is the only boss I died more than like. I think the second most was like under 20 still.
What was the second hardest? Let's see when you get to the boss I struggled with.
Calamine, I think probably.
Which one was Calamine?
The dragon.
Oh. I didn't.
It took you a while.
It took me a while, but
Yeah.
it was because my controller, like the binding.
It's the controller's fault, guys.
One that was no, I'm being serious. But the one that was actually the second hardest, I could for some reason the Moonlight Butterfly, the fucking laser beams. I would get so impatient and just like annoyed, and then like Artorias, which was Asmon's hardest, I beat it in 9 tries. And
Well-
the Butterfly, I was on that for like 15.
Well, the thing is, you have to keep in mind, like McConnell was on Discord with me.
Okay.
So while I was
It's the McConnell.
yeah,
That's a
so
controller of the McConnell.
yeah, he's messing me up. Exactly. Yeah, he's messing me up the whole time.
unironically a nerf.
Oh yeah, I was so angry. I was so mad. I remember I killed that boss. My expression did not change. I was like, guys, I'm done for today.
I was literally yesterday doing Elden Ring randomizer. I got
You beat the fuck out of that. I was amazed that you killed that boss. Like, cause I saw Melania, cause I thought you killed her in the first phase, and then she went to the second one, and I was like, oh, well, we'll tune in 5 hours later, right? I know.
I had to cheese the fuck out of it, but I did kill her.
Good idea.
the thing is, some other bullshit side boss came out, and I got so mad. You saw that too.
No, because whenever because I'm doing it too, right? So whenever I get to the boss, people will tell me what you got. So yeah, basically there was this little small room.
Stupid
and
ass
there were
spiders,
3
man.
bosses that spawned. The ones that I got, I mean, to be honest, I thought were pretty easy. So what did you get?
It was 2 motherfuckers with a spear and a caster.
Oh, that was easy.
No, it wasn't.
The Pokeboys?
Pokeboys with the caster. It was not easy. I got just what?
Just get them.
What do you mean just get them? I had to. They took 3 jump attacks to stagger them, and even then I get hit before I can do anything. And there's not enough room in this small fucking map to even make it to the caster to get hit off without getting spiked and getting Scarlet Rotted.
Scarlet Rot is the worst.
I'm gonna be real. Like I beat that one real quick, but
What weapon to use?
Well, okay, so it's the crystalline mobs, right?
Yes.
So like the way that they work is that they take a lot of extra damage from blunt damage. You know that, right?
I used an axe.
So that was the mistake that you made.
Also, keep in mind, I knew that, but everyone kept trying to help me.
But you
to
said,
use a blunt weapon.
And you said, fuck.
I did the same shit. People would tell me, they'd like give me advice and be like, nope, I'm beating it the way I was doing it originally.
Yeah,
fuck you.
That's
Yep,
exactly.
Yep. I'm the same way.
I have rage quit my last 2 streams because somebody said, oh, well, you should use this. You should stop doing this. It's like, yeah, fuck you.
No, I'm not gonna do it. You
Wow.
made it
Yeah.
hard for me.
Yeah, fuck you, yeah. You think I'm not good enough for this?
Yeah, and then on top of that, or the point I brought up, you said your expression didn't change.
Yes.
During those 3 guys I was killing with a fucking axe, and I mean this, I did not say a word for 40 minutes.
Wow.
I didn't, and I was fucking angry. I didn't look at my chat a single time.
You were not fucking.
I was angry.
Yeah.
I was not locked in like, yeah, gamer mode. No, I'm just mad. So then I killed it, and my vibes were so ruined, I just turned the stream off.
Yeah, fuck it.
There's no recovering from this.
Yeah.
I tried to. I went in, but I turned my camera off and I put a Lucari cam on to pretend he was playing.
That's what happened.
Oh, you saw that?
I was wondering what the fuck that was about.
Yeah, I just look, I was so mad.
That's sick.
So yeah, it all comes together now. That was a terrible fucking time.
Dude, I'm starting Elden Ring randomizer soon too.
Oh, it's great.
Is it actually?
Get Melania on the first fight.
It is Melania. It's the equivalent of getting Manus instead of the Taurus. Yeah.
It was bad.
How does it work with damage distribution?
Well, it depends, but like they're generally scaled to the like the level that you are supposed to be at in that area.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so it's not as bad as you might think. It's not like you have to fight her at full power, but it's still obviously a much harder boss than some of the other ones.
Yeah, of course.
But also, like, when you first start, so your character, your stats, everything randomized.
Yeah.
Weapons randomized. I ran straight to the boss. I'm in there. Luckily, I had a really good spell that I could use. I had a fucking mace and a spell casting thing. I had a really good build, but someone might be there with a fucking torch. Because the weapon they spawned in with, they can't.
Yeah.
Like, that is a possibility.
I got a weapon that did bleed damage.
Oh, shit, you got a bleed weapon?
Yeah.
Wait, mine did too. We were OP as fuck.
Do you use
right.
summons?
No.
I never have used summon.
Yeah, same.
Summons are cringe, in fact.
Well, that's like whenever you admit I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's how I felt about fucking putting on a fucking mace on those.
So you're gonna play Dark Souls 3?
Yeah, I'm doing Dark Souls 3 next. Well, I'm playing Minecraft first.
Wait, when?
You play Minecraft?
So I haven't played Dark Souls 3.
Oh, well, I just want to play Minecraft once just to do it. So maybe like next week I'll start Dark Souls 3.
I've never beaten Minecraft.
How do you
Yeah, I
beat
mean,
Minecraft?
me neither. And I played like since it was in beta or whatever.
I'm so jealous of your oyster of games you get to choose from and have not beaten yet.
Yeah.
Didn't play Dark
I
Souls.
like realized that like I only played League for so long. I have so much variety gaming content that's like everyone's done it but me.
Yep.
Yeah. You should be happy.
After all,
am.
Okay, sick.
after all your Souls-like games, you've got Until Dawn, you've got Heavy Rain. You played The Last of Us.
No.
You've got. I mean, like I can.
I just like refused to play single player games for a long time because I was like,
They're boring.
I'm not beating someone. Because I was like, I'm not beating someone's ass. What's the point?
Yeah, there's no point to them.
I'll be.
No, because the majority of multiplayer games.
Well, I never realized that most single player games do have a very like community aspect around them. Like that's what I liked about League. Is like I'm playing with and against people. We like talk about League and stuff. But like for Dark Souls, like everyone has their own experience that like you know you talk about when you.
Dark Souls is unique in that way. Like you.
Oh,
won't
really?
get that you won't get that from a lot of other single player games, but Single player game. I will not play. If I didn't stream, I wouldn't really be playing single player games much. But I do, and they are fun to play on stream. And that's probably why a lot of people like watching them, because they're fun to watch. And you play them, and they're like,
Yeah,
hey,
it's
it's
like
a cool
the
game, but
shit.
I'd rather play League.
Yeah, experiencing shit with people.
Valorant, things like
That's how I felt like with doing the Final Fantasy quest line. Like I know you played Final Fantasy 14.
Playing Final Fantasy right now.
Yeah, I saw you were online like it was like yesterday or the day before on it.
Yeah,
Are you playing it for Bebe?
well, she played WoW for me. I'm playing Final Fantasy for her.
What brings you here?
And right now we are still in what's the first A Realm Reborn?
Yep.
We are. It is so boring right now.
Really? I love that. I thought it was great.
The beginning, the very beginning.
Yeah,
We're at like the end where we fucking have defeated all of the primals, and now it's just fucking politics.
Yeah, I thought that was fine. I didn't mind it. It reminded me of the good seasons of Game of Thrones.
I mean, the thing about Game of Thrones, though, is like you said with World of Warcraft.
What brings you here? May the
Like they try and do
stars
these
guide
complex characters,
Yeah.
and they fail. But it's really nice when they just go back to evil guy, good guy. Is so blatantly like normal,
Yeah.
skull on chest. But Final Fantasy, it does like Game of Thrones, but really simplistic characters.
Mhm.
It seems like evil. Like one guy was like, "I'm an evil guy and I'm gonna abuse these people," and it's just so bland. It's like, bro, this character is what the
Which is the evil guy?
There was some random guy. We're at a part, maybe you remember, where
The moon
he's
be with you.
a merchant, and it's all of the what are they called? The fucking people that are trying to move there.
Yeah.
Very
Be
beginning.
careful.
I don't fucking know.
And Alda.
He got shot by an
My
arrow. He
sister.
died right after.
Yes.
But it made you feel better because he's like my evil plan is finally coming to fruition. It's like no one fucking
brings
says
you
that.
What do you mean?
My evil plan, just so you know I'm bad. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay, I can get Teleji Aleji is a bad dude.
Yeah, whatever the
Well, he's the Lala. He's the Lala. Of course.
That's
I played the game.
That's crazy.
You have insane memory. I've noticed. You remember
Played the game, yeah.
Now, I will say the game is fun. The story is not bad. There's just some moments where I'm like, and also
Evan's Ward is a lot better.
the little people are fucking annoying.
They get worse.
Yes, they're so stupid. They are so clearly little kids. Even their emotes are like little kid tantrums. But like this person is in power and runs people's lives, but clearly a child, even through their emotes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking annoying. They even sound like a kid. There are hundreds of shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like that is a child. They act like it.
Well,
They
the,
started crying like
the best part, right, is so there's like 3 different big factions in like the first part of Final Fantasy, and there's like the Crystal Mommy Flower Girls, there's the Pirate Simps, and then there's basically a bunch of like big hairy muscly men.
Yeah.
But the leader of all the big hairy muscly men is this little like Lalafell. Those are the tiny ones, and it's this girl. And whenever she wants to talk to everybody, the second in command guy literally holds his arm out like this, and she stands on it like a fucking parrot.
Yes.
And she's giving an address to the entire city.
That actually is cool, though.
It was so funny.
I was told those two fuck.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm told there is some serious thought process behind it that say that those two fuck.
You know who actually fucks? The people who leave comments on the Apple Podcast reviews. You seen those, Evan?
Yeah, it helps us out a lot. So I actually have one of them here from.
You guys are on Apple Podcast?
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. I think those are.
Yep. Twitter, TikTok.
That's right.
Dang, so you're telling me I could put you on my Spotify and listen to you when I go on a walk?
Yep. You can download it ahead of time before it even comes out. Like you can set it to auto download. It helps us out a lot. So this is from Ace Mendy on Apple Podcasts. 5-star review. Actually a start quote listenable question mark end quote podcast. 5 stars. Laughs throughout the podcast. Help me get through work. Can't wait for more. Thanks, Ace.
Look,
We
what a
appreciate
guy.
that.
Great.
Nice.
Thank you very much for that, Ace.
So you could listen to the podcast while you're leveling in Final Fantasy?
Yep.
Theoretically,
All of
yes.
those be little fucking kids?
Yes, absolutely.
My God, no way.
And you can like, comment, and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications at the same time while you're at it.
Imagine that.
Because if you're already here, you might as well.
Yeah, Soda, thanks for coming on and being part of the show, being our first guest.
I was the first guest. I hope I didn't fuck everything up. I feel like we talked about
This was great. This is the longest I think we've ever recorded.
Oh yeah, it's been quite a while. Did you have fun?
I did.
Okay.
Some good convos, talked about some good stuff. A lot of stupid shit, but
Yeah.
that's the fun part, I guess.
Yeah, that's usually about how all of them go. So, yeah. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Remember to follow us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever, Twitter. You know what it is.
TikTok.
But, oh, yeah, TikTok. I forgot about that. Make sure to follow the TikTok.
We didn't talk about TikTok.
And, I know.
You'll have to come back sometime, yeah.
Yeah, you have to come back. Exactly. There you go.
I don't uninstall. I'm sorry.
He was getting addicted.
Save it for the next.
Literally on the outro. By the way.
Fuck all these kids and their TikTok.
Ain't no shit. All right, well, guys, listen. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it, and we will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Bye. I don't know why I did that.
That's cute.
I thought it was cute.
I don't know. I don't know where.
Then you turn and you look at me. There's a little glimmer that I can see. A sparkle in your eyes. It makes me realize all we need is you and me. And light shines from your eyes. It brightens.
Well, I was looking for the Skinner over here.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hello, chat? Hello?
Blast, remember that?
Oh, God.
So, Soda goes over. This was like 4 years ago.
Yep, Deadeye can miss. And not by some 1 in a million set of circumstances.
Alright, let's watch it.
Yep, Deadeye can miss. And not by some 1 in a million set of circumstances. It misses pretty frequently.
I'm not gonna lie, I watched the first like 30 seconds of this, and I never realized how I have the same reaction every single time.
To be fair, the ability description says nothing about actually hitting enemies, but it's pretty clear that something is bugged. And after spending the last 2 weeks examining how Deadeye works, you have no idea how bugged it is. Seriously, grab a snack or something because we're getting into the weeds here. Overwatch heroes are more than just models and textures. Each one has unique weapons, particle effects, and sound effects. To help with the placement of these components, character models have invisible attachment points
May the
called hard points.
stars guide you.
Objects can be attached to these points and will follow any animation applied to the model.
Yo, you want to do a follow for follow? I'm
Holy
trying to
shit.
get
Muzzle
into the
flashes and
affiliate
smoke to
program.
follow weapons.
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Spoken dialogue to emit from the character's mouth.
And they say chivalry is dead.
And name tags to track the player's head.
Hey
There you go,
Flash, what
buddy.
are your
Deadeye
top
makes use
3
of certain
games of
hard
all time?
That's an impossible question to answer. I'll pick one old, one semi-old, and one new. Old, there was this game called Seek and Destroy when I was a kid. It was a tank game. Played it
Thanks for coming by
endless
my
amounts
stream,
of times.
Orlando.
Middle
Good to
ground
see you, man.
game. I'm tied in between Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare the original. More memories on Modern Warfare the original. Modern Warfare 2 was just a better game. And then new games, Witcher 3 and Rainbow Six Siege when it first released. All right.
Points to function. Every hero has a hard point in their chest with ID 1, which is where the bullet shot by Deadeye travels to. Every hero also has a hard point in their head with ID 12, which is where the lock-on indicator is displayed. To determine if Deadeye is locked on to a target, the game performs multiple line-of-sight checks originating from the shooter's camera. First, line of sight is checked against hardpoint 1. Second, line of sight is checked against an upper LOS point, typically located near the chest. And third, line of sight is checked against a lower LOS point, typically located near the knees. If any one of these LOS checks pass, you have line of sight.
Wait, is Mercy's hair always kind of gray?
To the target. You'll notice that the skull indicator has no influence on line of sight, nor where the bullet hits. If there's one thing you should absolutely know about Deadeye, it's that the skull in no way guarantees that you will actually hit your target. You'll also notice that the upper and lower line of sight tests are separate from the bullet path. This causes some issues in game. Since only one line of sight check needs to be met, you can miss a locked on target by only establishing lower LOS.
Add this.
Although I technically have line of sight to Reaper, the bullet goes to hardpoint 1, which is in his chest. Most heroes' lower LOS points are 0.6 units above their ground position, so there is a very large range of heights in which you can use this.
That spell isn't over yet. That's still recharging. I can't.
Did you just get a hit marker?
You get some pretty crazy lock-on angles.
Oh, right, because increased health. No, wait, he has a skull though. What? Wait a minute. I think. How did you get a hit marker?
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging.
It hits! What?
You can get some pretty crazy lock-on angles because of this.
That's interesting.
It's also possible to miss Deadeye by only establishing upper LOS, but there is a much smaller range in which this occurs. This is because the upper LOS point and the hard point are
I had this happen with Karki the other day.
very close to one another, but not always. From this position, I can reliably lock onto and hit Widowmaker with a Deadeye. If she's put to sleep with a sleep dart, I can still lock onto her, but the bullet now misses. Although hardpoints follow character models during the sleep animation, line of sight points remain static. Even though the upper LOS check passes, the bullet target is way down here, obstructed by the ledge. Once Widow wakes up, the bullet target is back in view, so Deadeye will hit again. If you think that's bad, put on your seatbelt. We're just getting started.
Okay.
There are some scenarios where you do have line of sight to a target, but you can't fire the shot. To understand why, we first need to examine character models, specifically their bind poses. A character's bind pose, or commonly referred to as a T-pose by players, is the default pose used when sculpting the model. A bind pose can be very different from a hero's in-game idle animation. Junkrat, for example, is physically one of the tallest characters in Overwatch, but he has a severe slouch in-game. Because of this, the hardpoint used by Deadeye is much lower in-game than it appears in his bind pose. Here I've added a yellow beam to show where the hardpoint is in Junkrat's bind pose. When you first use Deadeye, the game evaluates the hardpoint's position as if the target is in their bind pose. Although I don't have upper or lower line of sight to Junkrat, I do have LOS to the hardpoint's default position. Once I fire Deadeye, the game re-evaluates the hardpoint to be in the correct position, as shown by the bullet path. Due to workshop limitations, I'm not able to show the hardpoint moving, but trust me, it's not up here anymore. If I continue to use Deadeye again in the exact same place, I can no longer lock onto Junkrat, since the hardpoint has moved down where it should be.
What?
So to summarize, this yellow beam only provides line of sight the first time you use Deadeye against a target.
What?
The inverse can happen as well. I can't lock onto Farah since I can't see her upper LOS point, lower LOS point, or the hard point. When she slept, however, her model extends just far enough around the corner for me to see the hard point. Despite this, I can't actually fire down. My client really wants to fire a bullet, but as far as the server is concerned, Farah's hardpoint does not move. This results in the "you didn't really shoot Deadeye" message.
That spell isn't ready yet.
That's what happened to me. Wait, but that doesn't make sense because
Since
mine.
the hardpoint only
She wasn't
updates
sleeping
its
from
position
mine.
when Deadeye is shot, every Deadeye use will influence the next Deadeye. As an example, from this position I can hit Bastion with Deadeye every single time I use it. Then, I deliberately move Bastion's hardpoint downward by shooting him while he is sleeping. After this, I can no longer lock onto him from this position no matter how many times I try.
What?
But if another player shoots him with Deadeye, his hardpoint moves back up where it's supposed to be, allowing me to lock on again.
What?
So far, all of these Deadeye misses have involved line-of-sight shenanigans. Surely with a completely unobstructed view of your target, Deadeye can't miss.
That's happened to me. That's what happened to me.
If a hero undergoes a rapid pose change right before Deadeye is shot, the bullet can miss. This is actually what prompted this entire video in the first place. I've received dozens of clips and replays showing Deadeye just missing point blank, and it didn't take long to brute force reproduction steps.
She dodged it. She dodged it. Did you see that? She does it again. She dodged it. Oh my god, we found it.
The immediate assumption would be that the hardpoint moves outside of Mercy's focus during this animation. While it's an intuitive guess, there are characteristics of this bug that make me doubt it's an animation error. A Cassidy bot spawned on the server will never miss Deadeye due to a pose change. The bullet will always hit Mercy. Furthermore, players with higher latency have a much wider window of time for Deadeye to miss. At a ping of around 60 milliseconds, there's about a 60 millisecond window in which the bullet can miss. At a ping of around 250 milliseconds,
Wait, someone
there's
typed.
about a 160.
Someone typed. Sure4 is so smart. It's not. It's not. It's not.
60 millisecond window. If this were just an issue with the Guardian Angel animation, you'd expect all three test cases to have the same window of time to miss. And no, these are not iframes. Mercy doesn't tank the hit with 0 damage. The bullet literally just misses. If we put a shield behind Mercy, you can see that it takes damage from the bullet whizzing past her.
This is so genius. Holy.
Aside from Mercy, plenty of heroes can dodge Deadeye great.
Thanks, Toby.
Its way, including but not limited to Sojourn sliding, Cassidy rolling, Lucia wall riding, and being earth shattered. Just like the previous bug, missing Deadeye like this moves Mercy's hardpoint, which affects your next Deadeye. As an example, I can't establish LOS to Mercy behind this statue. But if I miss Deadeye while she uses Guardian Angel, I can establish LOS behind the statue, because her hardpoint now extends behind her. Though remember, the hardpoint corrects itself the moment I shoot.
That's so weird.
The fact that your network condition determines whether or not Deadeye hits is what makes this truly bizarre, and to be honest, I'm not certain what's going on. Speaking of network conditions, there is one more way to miss Deadeye that I'd like to cover. If you've been in the Overwatch scene for a while, you've probably heard the phrase "favor the shooter" quite a bit. This term
I need
describes
to
one
get
of the
closer.
consequences of lag compensation. Other players can appear to shoot you around corners if you're still on their screen at the time the shot was fired.
Yep.
Deadeye doesn't really behave the same way. You can fire a shot while the other player is still on your screen, but the bullet travels to their new position behind the corner. This means
Selfish
there's a
for the
pretty
gifty.
good chance you can force Deadeye to miss by jiggle peeking Cassidy. So
That's
never
evil.
use Deadeye if you have high ping. Or ever. Just use it to reload. Special thanks to everyone who helped with this video by sending me replays of Deadeye misses, and to everyone in my Twitch chat that stuck around for the ride. If you don't know, I stream behind the scenes stuff like workshop programming, green screen choreography, and just testing random things people ask about. Res Bob. Wow, I fell for it. Any more ideas, chat? Orb saving his turret. I thought he said res the turret. I'm like, I'm not gonna fall for that one immediately. Still not gonna live that one down.
Okay, that was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. I'll give it that. Which really does explain how often you've been missing. Dude, I have missed more high noons in like the last 2 weeks than I think I'd ever missed in the history of playing Overwatch. Real.
Listening.
You have to be good at Doomfist.
Of a topic lined up
Oh!
for this next segment. That's a bit of a conversation
Whoa!
starter in the community, but it's also something incredibly significant to
This
our
is
team.
these are some heavy
We're
hitters.
joined by some really incredible folks on Team 4 who are going to walk
We don't
us
hear
through
we don't
some
hear
of the
from
competitive
Scott
and
that often.
matchmaking updates that we're going to see here in the mid-cycle
Wait,
patch.
hold on. What?
Scott, would you please kick off intro?
Hold on. What did Jody say?
Of a topic lined up for this next segment. That's a bit of a conversation starter in the community, but it's also something incredibly significant to our team. We're joined by some really incredible folks on Team 4 who are going to walk us through some of the competitive and matchmaking updates that we're going to see here in
Yeah.
the mid-cycle patch.
There's a reason why I said these are some heavy hitters right off the bat, because these are the big important people that do a lot of this.
Just a little overview on your role on the team.
Sure thing, Jody. Hi, everyone. I'm Scott Mercer.
I'm just gonna say right now, before we talk, this is one of the smartest people I think I've met, and I talked Overwatch with Scott at when I went to the summit in like August before Overwatch 2 launched for like. So okay, peel back the curtain a little bit. There was a lot of things that were like kind of presented to us and like talked about, and then there was like little breaks in between. You know, everyone get up, go get water, go to the bathroom, whatever. We had like a 30-minute break. Scott spent his whole 30-minute break talking to me about ranked.
Sir, I'm the lead meta designer on Overwatch 2, and that doesn't mean I'm responsible for the hero meta.
With Gavin too.
Not
Gavin's
meta
awesome.
at
You'll see
all.
Gavin pop in here every once in a while.
It's different meta completely.
Oh, thanks to the 3 months.
What I do on the team is work with Morgan on matchmaking. I also work on competitive systems, player interaction and trust. I interact with esports teams. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk with Morgan today about matchmaking.
Yeah, hi, I'm Morgan. I'm a senior engineer on Team 4. I also mostly focus on matchmaking and ranked, so I actually work with Scott kind of kind of an uncanny amount. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Welcome on in, you guys, and thanks for joining us on this again. So, Morgan, to kick us off, will you kind of give us a recap on the
He's a Bastion
matchmaking
shirt, you're
updates
right.
that went in at the beginning of Season 3? What were those updates, and kind of what are some of the things that we're seeing and observing so far?
Yeah, so Season 3 was really big for matchmaking. It was kind of...
True.
So right after Overwatch 2 launched, actually, we were kind of thinking about like what we wanted to prioritize next. And kind of the overwhelming thing that we wanted to do was what we've called the role delta change, which is minimizing the role delta between the two teams. And so what that means is, you know, before any of these
It all
changes
makes
went
sense
live,
now.
you know, we were pretty willing to make a match that
Between
would
the
have
teams.
like, a diamond level tank against a gold level tank, say. And even if the rest of the match was fairly balanced, you know, in terms of like, the ratings of the two teams, that matchup just didn't feel very fun. And so, you know, those matches had a 50% win rate, but like it still didn't feel like a good match. And so we kind of wanted to like, you know, see how well we could minimize the delta between the roles. And so we wanted to do that not just for the tanks, but for all the roles on each team. And that actually took a really long time. It was definitely the largest kind of architectural change that we've made to the matchmaker since roll queue even back in 2019. So so we did that over a few stages. We kind of got like an easy win in I think it was like the Season 2 patch. And then since that point, we were kind of making iterative improvements. And so Season 3 is kind of the culmination of that work where, you know, we've kind of like fully pivoted the matchmaking architecture to be able to kind of like reason about packing players into matches that in a way that minimizes this delta and keeps it so that the teams have kind of like this balanced role. You know, this property is kind of weird. It's not. It's kind of hard to like get it for free, and so we actually kind of had to rethink a lot of the different components of the matchmaker in order to actually solve this problem well, not just in the normal case, but also kind of in the worst case. Be able to do this, you know, kind of in all cases. So. So that was kind of the big thing that changed in Season 3. Because of that, you know, there was a whole lot of parts that we expected to get worse as a result of that. You know, kind of like in matchmaking, you don't really get anything for free. So by minimizing the roll delta in these matches, we've kind of we've slightly impacted like other aspects of match quality that we're looking at. And some of that we kind of expected going into it because we just knew this was such a big change. But at the same time, you know, there are some things that we were kind of surprised at. Like, you know, I was a little bit surprised at how our expected win rate, you know, normally we try to make matches that are 50. Our average expected win rate got a little bit worse. Optimizing for roll delta, and it's kind of unintuitive.
Interesting.
You know, all of these measures of good matches with
I can't cast.
Okay, I have a small theory about
That's
this.
still recharging.
And at the highest level, it feels like I don't know about all the ranks, but it feels like in Overwatch 1, tank diff was the biggest contributing factor to games. Overwatch 2, it's DPS diff. Tank diff still can be the number one if your tank is just an absolute moron and their tank is good. But if both your tanks are somewhat competent and aren't trolling, it's actually more of DPS diff. And the supports are kind of like the puppet masters of the tanks. So if your tank, your supports aren't synergized, you're fucked. But if they like have some synergy, then they can be impactful. But realistically, the top tier DPS players, the ones that can click heads, are just gonna run every lobby. I wonder if that had some sort of effect on it, because you now have all of a sudden players that are being balanced like per role, and the games where you have really good DPS players and maybe not as good tanks, DPS players are deciding it, and the tank players aren't getting much of an impact. Same thing with the support players. And then the DPS players now they need to perform, because if they don't perform, they're going to lose. So like, it feels like the dynamic of the game has changed quite a bit from going to 5v5. But it's my own harebrained theory.
I mean, you know, if you make the one ideal match where everybody has the same exact rating, you know, then it's just a good match and we're willing to make it. But you know, oftentimes we can't do that, and so it's kind of like, which thing do we give up on first? And so.
Some more Q times, I think.
We've still been tuning the system a lot. Like ever since it launched, I think we've probably made a tuning adjustment almost every day at this point.
Yeah.
And we're still going. You know, like we're still learning. And a lot of that has just been, you know, seeing what goes wrong and seeing how we can kind of like tweak things to make things a little bit better. So
there's like some huge infrastructure kind of
Yeah, like,
changes
the
going
big
on there, right?
architecture.
Yeah. So how was that perceived by the community? Like, what was the how did they react? Because you said it has a lot of side effects if you make such big changes. Like queue times are going to be affected. What was the consensus and the feedback you were given after implementing such big changes?
That's a really good question. You know, it's very hard to actually say with certainty, like, you know, how much better things got. You know, we have measures that we look at that kind of ground us and like, okay, you know, we did actually make, you know, most of our matches now have these very close deltas, and like, you know, we've seen a lot of community
That's still
feedback.
recharging.
I would say it's mostly been positive. I don't know, it's a little hard to say for sure.
Yeah, it's when you think of all of Overwatch 2 matchmaking, there's a lot of different people that are affected by this. You know, we're going to talk a lot about competitive play, but like this change actually mostly affects quick play, or affects quick play to an even larger degree because their groups can be even more different in terms of like the groups you can form. In competitive play, there are restrictions on who you can group with. You can't group with, you know, like a bronze player, group with a grandmaster. You just can't. In quick play, all those things are possible. Yeah, you get some really, and you get some really crazy groups, and the matchmaker has to do the best he can with it. And it's all this new role delta tech that allows us to, you know, create what we think are like overall like better matches for those groups. And then there are absolutely groups in competitive play too, so you know, we get some benefits there. But like for the people that do play in groups with like different skilled players in quick play, all the feedback we've been getting is it's been great.
Yeah.
In some cases, the queue times have been a little bit like longer because
that's really the main downside.
Queue times have been very long,
especially for large groups. Their queue times have gotten a little worse, and that was a little bit unexpected. I was hoping that wouldn't.
Also, quick play feels very sweaty.
It didn't show up in the simulations that we did, but we have some ideas for how to improve that going forward. It'll probably just take another patch to really get it good. But yeah, it's kind of funny. You know, we get a lot of feedback. We see the metrics. And then we also play the game a lot, right? Like, you know, ultimately that's kind of the best way to ground yourself in like what this change has done. You know, I personally have been able to feel this change. You know, it's really interesting, you know, especially when you're playing tank, but even with the other roles, you can kind of tell now, like, who your rival is on the enemy team, you know, because we're really trying to match you with somebody who's very close to your skill level. And, you know, now in the average case, that person,
for tank,
you know,
it's easy.
Like ranked, for example,
it's the other tank,
is
but
like within one division of you. You know, so
one division. Very
close.
So like, Diamond 4 will be against either a Diamond 5 or a Diamond 3, not a whole rank difference. That's very interesting.
Away.
So they are really trying, at least for like the matchups, to be very close.
Matched with you, and so you can really kind of feel, you know, a little bit more of like that rivalry where it's like, you know, are you winning that matchup or losing that matchup? And it's like, it's not like you're just going to get stomped either way. Like, that's going to be a pretty close match. You know, there's kind of a feel to it that I've thought is really cool. Of course, you know, there's like the other areas where like, you know, we're making slightly wider matches now in terms of the, you know, if you look at like the best player minus the worst player, that's gotten a little bit wider, also kind of as a result of this change. And so like, you know, that's actually something that we're going to be trying to improve. We actually anticipated that would get worse as a result of the role delta change. And so in the mid-cycle, in the 2.3.1 patch, we have some changes going that will actually help shrink that back down, hopefully even to better than it was before. We'll have to wait and see. The simulations were very promising, but you know, the simulations don't usually end up like real. So.
No, for sure. We don't know what the system, like seeing how like our players actually interact with the system is the best way, like for us to learn and take things away from it. And I really like the way that you framed it as an architectural change to the system, because like you tweak one thing and then you find out that one thing, like, you have a goal for what that thing is supposed to change, but then it inadvertently affects these other variables as well. And so it really is a process getting to a place where that feels good for the people that are playing.
Yeah, it's been really interesting too. Like, you know, competitive queue
I'm
times
afraid.
used to be longer and now they're shorter.
Which is good.
And,
Very
like,
good.
in retrospect, like the system maybe wasn't actually working as well. Like the new change, you know, it's like we're still making very good matches, but we kind of like for free almost got rid of a lot of the queue time. Just
Okay, so before he keeps going, the reason why I was against everybody, and I didn't really speak up against it because like I understand people's sentiment, but like if you've seen around for like everyone's like, matches really fucking suck. I'm tired of these plat players, these diamond players. Well, first off, half the time they hadn't played yet, so like they were still affected by the beginning of season resets, and that was compounded from season 1 and 2. So like you'd have these players that maybe were like GM previously, playing on an alt account or another account or whatever. And then they would say they were diamond or plat, and they were in a GM game, and it's like they weren't actually plat. Like sometimes, yes, there were lower players. There were. I'm not denying that. But like, there is way too many fucking people that would post every screenshot on Twitter and be like, "Look at this, and everyone's screaming. But it's like you got a game every 30 seconds to a minute. That's how you keep playing video games. That's how you keep playing, and especially streaming. Like you're gonna keep going. Like queue times being 15 plus minutes during peak days, like the middle of the day to like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. 15-20 minute queues is ridiculous. Your game will die. It doesn't survive that way. So it used to piss I was getting kind of annoyed seeing everybody say that. So it's funny that it's actually interesting they're saying that like maybe the system wasn't working before because there was this idea of people saying, well, go back to the old system. I want more balanced matches. It was bullshit. You would wait 15 minutes and you'd get a 3-minute push game and go back to another 15-minute queue. It was this like thought that like every game has beforehand were these perfectly la-la matched games, and that wasn't true. You got like a few decent games, but like you still got a few decent games in the new system. You just played more of them. So dude, I feel like it's just Overwatch 1 copium players that were very used to their old Overwatch 1 ways where they'd wait in queue for 10 minutes and then they'd get a game and then they'd wait 10 minutes and get another game and they're like, well, that felt better. No, it didn't. It was so.
just because, you know, the new system is like a lot smarter and it's kind of this like foundational piece that you know, gives us like a lot more ability to build off of in the future too, which is going to be really cool.
So what about players who queue into matches and they see this widespread disparity? Like they're queuing in their diamond and they see a golden, or even more so than that, they're queuing in GM and see like a flat player.
Here it comes!
Like, what's happening there?
Yeah, that's actually funny. So after the season 3 changes, you know, it was a really big change, and so there were a lot of unintended consequences. And one of them was for a short period, we're making matches that were a lot, like had a much wider.
This is the yes, it did happen.
Somebody sent us a match that was like a GM level match with a gold level player.
It might have been two of your colleagues on the Overwatch League cast, Zoe, that sent us a match, and they were like, we were matched with this gold player. It's like, what's up? So we actually went and looked at it.
Yeah, we spent like a couple hours talking.
There was
about
actually a
that
lot of
match.
things we were talking about. Which is why, again, it's like
did happen.
Feedback about some of the things is like so useful to us.
Falling asleep, guys.
We looked at it and it's like,
Can't fall asleep during hardcore, I'll fucking die.
The other things about the match is like they didn't realize it's like the role does stuff was actually working really well. It had a gold on the other team as well.
There it is.
So
People don't see that, obviously.
No, you don't see that. So that was like, at the same time, it's like, oh, this is bad, but it was kind of good too. It's like, it's
like
working.
interesting.
Yeah, it was like
interesting
working in a way we didn't quite expect. One of the big things about matchmakers is, you know, the matchmaker is like, we put this constraint and it's like, you know, it's like, all right, push this down and like something comes up. You know, it's like, you can't push everything down all at the same time because you don't have enough hands. So yeah, it was it's definitely like something that we happened, but we know that we know the players don't think that's a high quality match, even if we make one.
So the system, so now they just they compress it a little bit. So they're still keeping the same way, but like instead of gold, you know, they'll get like diamond, masters, you know.
This could be a bug. I was like,
GM.
oh, you really think I'm that good? So I should be playing with GM players? Well, thank you so much. Shucks.
Yeah, I've seen feedback like on various like social platforms where it's like, yeah, there are a lot of people who are like that. Who are like, I was super excited to play with these players. I never get to play with these players. It's like, you know, because playing with players that are more skilled than you.
That's true, but those players don't want to play with them. And that's just, I'm sorry, that's the truth.
Dude, it's actually an interesting learning opportunity. Yeah. It's like,
I feel
how
like
do
it makes
these
me
players
better.
play? Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me play better. But obviously that's not how it should be working as intended. So
True,
that's what we're saying.
but
Yes, obviously it's like we're gonna like actually try to prevent that sort of thing from ever happening again.
But
One will sneak through in a blue moon, but like it's but it's,
Yeah,
it's
we were, able
interesting.
we were able to make some tuning changes. Like once we saw the problem, because we add so much configurability in every change that we make. So once we saw that problem, we were able to make it better. I mean, we can never like have like a hard, like some players will be like, oh, I only ever want to make, I only ever want to play like these perfect matches or something like that. And, like,
Oh, here it comes.
We ultimately can't do that. We have to kind of like eventually make a match, right? We can't
Yep.
just have somebody stay in queue for 4 hours.
Vulgar.
And so, this was just one of the things where it was like, we kind of hadn't tuned the system just right. And so we were able to, I think, mostly fix this problem, at least improve it. But it's still something we would
Yes.
like to improve even more.
Grandma, you made a good point. You make the point. Not even a good point. It's not even a good. It's the. That is the point. The people that mostly complain and say the bad queues are the nighttime off-hour streamers. You can't expect to get a high-level, competitive, quick match.
Your videos always cheer me up after a long day of work.
Thanks, Romeo.
Thanks for what
Appreciate
you
3 months.
do.
You can't expect to get a perfectly balanced, high-level, fast queue at 3 a.m. That's not gonna happen. You're literally insane. Like you clinically need help. Like you need to realize that doesn't work that way. There's not enough players. The top GM is 0.01% of the player base. It's also easier bait content to complain. I hate. You're right. I know you're right. You're 100% right. But I hate it. Because I personally do a lot of complaining. But when I complain about it, I try to complain about that I think is actually fixable, and I try to construct what my thought process is behind why it's bad, and offer a way forward, instead of just give me magic matches in the middle of the night.
Guys.
That
Appreciate
makes
everybody
no
stopping by
sense.
stream and watching.
That pisses me off. Okay,
Be sure to leave me a follow if you enjoyed it. And
Ideally,
have a
as
good night.
fun as it is for the gold player, like,